He's particularly good on Fridays.
I never noticed that.
The end's in sight.
Oh.
The end of the week I'm talking about.
Who says Roethlisberger? Don't say one of our hosts. Rip him an ass, whoever it is. I bet you it's the big...
Oh!
Am I right?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, he's illiterate. What do you expect? He knows speaking English. No speaking English. He probably works part-time at the Herald. Maybe he delivers the Herald newspapers on a weekend.
He is very tight with a couple of their reporters. I know that.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, come to find out, speaking of that the reason that the Boogster went over there, well, I guess most people on the inside know this, but the audience doesn't. The reason Boogster went over there to 790 is because he and Dan LeBatard are really tight.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, well, inside, like I said, everybody knew that.
They did time together.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Were they in New Orleans or somewhere?
No.
No?
It happened at a Johnny Rocket.
Yeah.
Far be it from me to snitch.
Uh-huh. Well, anyway, Dan LeBatard and the Boogster are as tight as a snare drum, so that's... why he wound up over there.
I think that's right. Well, there was another reason, too.
And what was that?
We didn't do a very good job of going after him.
Yeah.
We
didn't do a very good job of going after the Dolphins either, because even though it's not officially announced yet, we have lost the
No, they're gone. I can tell you that.
Oh, I know that.
Well, you know.
And also the play-by-play broadcasters will be both changed as well.
Yeah.
Which is a very bad business decision by Wayne.
Yeah, we could have kept Boog here.
Yeah.
If they had made him a decent offer,
well, they
just sat down with him and made him feel like they wanted him.
They made him an offer he could refuse, and he did.
You know what? There was only one person who ever talked to him, and Greg never did.
No, well, how can he talk to anybody when he's never there? He's out of this world. Well,
he could have invited him to wherever he was.
Maybe we could have put him on a space shuttle, send him to Uranus. What a jackass!
But that didn't have to happen. It really didn't.
Well, I like Boog. He's a good play-by-play guy, but as far as doing a talk show, forget about it.
Rock
and roll talk. He's a great guy. We like him a lot, but that rock and roll talk, it somehow leaves me limp. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I know what you mean.
Hey, Boog, how's it going, baby? It's 107 at 790. I just, none of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're doing a puking routine then?
Yeah. I'm puking all right.
Well,
and you know the interesting
hopefully your week got better as it went along.
No, it did not. It got worse. Once we got to yesterday and that whole Jeb Bush business. And the worst part, you know something? I've said it for 29 years, and I'm going to say it again. And that is that South Florida gets exactly what it deserves. The apathy, the indifference. There's no passion. They're re-releasing The Passion of the Christ because Mel Gibson wants to squeeze some more money out of Jesus. But there's no passion about anything other than freebies and early bird dinners. Florida is the most indifferent. It's la-la land. They just are not passionate about anything.
I had dinner last night with a very prominent horse trainer who listens to your show.
Yeah.
Nick Zito.
Yes.
And Nick said, it's amazing that the brother goes to war to defend our so-called freedoms, and the other brother constantly takes away our freedoms.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's yin and yang.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get some of the money, some of the revenue from the slots if we ever get them for rehab.
Hey, if they do what they say they're going to do, and they don't bring real slots in, those Class 3 slots,
all they're going to look.
It'll be nothing.
There'll be no revenue.
That's
all
right.
they're doing is screwing over the school system and screwing over themselves, and I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. He's waffling on that now.
This thing is going to be in the courts, I guarantee you. And then, it'll be another year before. And you know what, Neil? It'll be another year before it gets done.
No, it better not.
I'm telling you, it's going right to the courts.
I mean, Pompano Park was planning by July 31st they'd be up and running with at least a part of it anyway. Yeah.
I know Hollywood will be ready to go very quickly, too.
Right.
And I'm sure...
I bet you Flagler and Miami Highlight and Calder could have been were ready, too. Like I said, nobody cares. Yesterday, I couldn't... nobody gives a crap. You can't get these people whipped up into a frenzy. That's why the politicians can do whatever the hell they want, because they know they can get away with it.
Yeah, and they...
Oh, gee, ain't that a shame,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they had all those right-wingers, all those carpetbaggers knocking the door down in Dade County. Let us in! Yeah, remember that business?
Yeah, and then they
sits back.
They cancel out a big portion of the vote by not letting them vote.
All the public cares about is where's the early bird and where are the cockfights tonight. That's Dade County for you. And Broward to an extent.
I've never been to a cockfight. Where are the good ones?
Hialeah.
Oh. Oh, I can't go there.
No.
I haven't been to Hialeah since the mayor took a swing
Raul
at me.
Martinez has Hank permanently banned from Hialeah. Hey, you know something? Stop and think about this.
Are you crazy? You think I'm going to go in there after that guy who's about 6'10" took a swing at me?
Listen to me. Stop and think about this. Hialeah, that thanks to John Brunetti being a real slime ball, ran it into the ground and put it out of business. You realize that this thing, if they could have put it over, they might have been able to bring back Hialeah if they would have been thinking properly.
Hey, I've got a story for you on that, Neil.
Yeah.
Can I take a minute of your time?
Go ahead. Take all the time you want. Take right up till 150 would be good.
New York Racing Association wanted to get out of New York for a month. They just felt because of bad weather there. And they approached Hialeah about running a New York meet for 1 month at Hialeah every mid-January to mid-February with a lot of grass racing. And Brunetti wanted so much that Naira walked away from the deal. Now, think about if he had accepted that. Remember, he didn't accept the extra. He wanted 2 more days from Gulfstream to continue the rotation, the mid-dates rotation. Well,
he ought to rotate.
If he had taken this
on
deal,
a spit. That would put him on one of those big round peel ovens on a spit.
If he had taken this deal, Neil, he would be sitting there right now. And you know, if Hialeah had racing, they would have voted for slots.
Right.
And Dade County would have carried Dade.
They would have influenced that segment of the community, no speaking English, and they would have come out and said, oh, see, we like that.
Just by wanting a little
and
too much.
Like I said yesterday, in Havana, back in the heyday of Batista and the mob, they were paying Batista off with enormous amounts of cash so that he would look the other way, and the casinos in Havana were flourishing. Those people love casino gambling. So you figure, it just goes to show you how controlled they are. That was a great line you had yesterday.
A start?
It's a start.
Well, I remember in Havana, I took a half a piece of the birthday cake.
Did you? Well, everybody wanted a piece.
Fredo, you broke my heart.
Said, a piece for the Titaglia is a piece for everybody.
Fredo, you broke my heart.
Exactly. And how about a little piece for John Brunetti, too, as a matter of fact, and Raul Martinez.
I know.
Remember how they hung Mussolini and his mistress in Italy?
Yeah, Bugsy Siegel wanted to
I could see the same thing in Hialeah. I could just see them hanging John Brunetti and Raul Martinez side by each. I can just see that from a big palm tree.
Hey,
remember those great old palm trees? Most of them got uprooted by that hurricane.
Yes.
Remember
they ones you could see on the backstretch.
I bet you they still got 1 or 2 left there. They could have hung them side by each right from a big palm tree.
It was a beautiful place in its day.
Yeah, it sure was. But I think Hialeah is kind of like the epitome of what South Florida has become. I think the devolution of Hialeah is typical of what's happened.
I don't know. I can't go there.
Oh, no. He'll beat the crap out of you.
I know.
Hialeah, where they never met a gangster they didn't like.
Well, my weekend's starting now.
Yep, well, you know what that means.
Yeah, don't lose too much.
Don't bet on UM, by the way. I guess it's too late for that.
No, you can't bet on them anymore.
I know, they're done.
Yep.
Stick a fork in them. They're like us. They're done.
Done. History.
Okay, well, listen, don't lose too much this weekend. Well, we could have had Tom Durkin calling the races for a month if Hialeah would have taken
Tom's in Italy right now.
Is he really?
Yep. He has a place. You know something you can relate to this, too, because of the time you spent in Europe and now in Toronto, but he has a chateau over someplace in Italy.
Really?
He goes there every year for a month.
Wow. I love it.
And that's where he's going to and he wants to retire there.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I'm going there in May.
He
love it. And you know something? Harness racing is very big in Italy. Not so much thoroughbreds, although, Frankie Dettori is still great. Let me tell you right now, if you want to put some money down on a great world-class jockey, every time he comes over here, he wins a big race.
Oh, I saw him ride, and I went to Ascot a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he's great.
Won all the races?
Yeah, fantastic. Well, listen, we don't want to talk about racing because they don't care about that. They don't care about the slots. They don't care about the education. They don't care about nothing. So we don't want to. They don't care about hockey, that's for sure. What a joke that is.
And they shouldn't get a cut of the revenue.
Right.
Eliminate Dade County.
So it's like an investigation that's been going on. I've been doing it for almost 30 years now. What is it that these people care about? What motivates them? What moves them besides guayaberas and cockfights? And dominoes in Domino Park?
Well, you have a nice weekend.
By the way. That's not gambling, keep in mind.
Oh, no.
By the way.
You made a great point yesterday.
Really? It's about time.
Who's the head of the lottery?
The governor.
Thank you.
And the governor says specifically, he said he finally is losing it. He's going overboard. He says He's against all forms of gambling. Yeah. They should all be stopped. I thought that would include the lottery, church bingo. He says all gambling should be stopped, including the pari-mutuels, I guess, which the state's in partnership with, which it goes to show why they've treated him so badly all these years. Exactly. What a jackass, man. What a fat-ass jackass who wins by a landslide. You get what you deserve, folks. Have a great weekend, Hank.
That's my governor.
And lose a lot, but that's weight, not money.
I'm doing that.
Good.
I'm working on it.
Excellent. Me too.
Have a nice weekend yourself, okay?
See ya.
Bye. Rock solid.
Say hi to the big...
Oh!
Friday, you bastard.
Hello, folks, and thank you, Ed. What's that? Ed McMahon isn't up here yet? Well, if you've seen him lately, you know it won't be long now. It's great to be up here in heaven, I'll tell you. It's better than the alternative. In fact, it's so hot down there. I'm glad you asked that. It's so hot, they're thinking of renaming it Los Angeles. It's going to be a night like that, okay. How about this one? It's so hot down there, Uday and Hussein asked Hitler if they could borrow a couple of his thongs. I'll tell you, I'm having a great time here in heaven. Yesterday, I played golf with Bob Hope. Today, I'm playing tennis with Arthur Ashe, and tomorrow, I'm recording some tracks for Tupac's next album. Well, that's it for me. I have to go back to my room. St. Peter put me up in the Michael Jackson suite. Turns out Michael's not going to need it after all. Stick around, folks. There's more to come.
Here's Johnny. He's still dead. Ed McMahon, though, is making a comeback, damn it. It's 10:08 at 560 WQAM. Happy Friday to you. So, right during the middle of the show yesterday, we had some pretty good excitement there with Michael showing up in the PJs and the slippers.
Yeah, it was just a tease.
And, come to find out that the media finally are catching on. Oh, he doesn't have a back problem at all. I loved this morning on CNN, which I hate admitting and watching it, that Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, his spiritual advisor, Shmuley Boteach, was on there to tell us that he basically what he really said is something we talked about months ago, was in the Inquirer about all the pills he's popping. He's got Rush Limbaugh disease. He's popping pills like crazy. And so if he looked a little bit incoherent yesterday, he's coming unglued is what's happening to Michael. But it is a pretty good question. What kind of a circus, a sideshow? This guy makes Judge Ito seem like responsible. Guy's running a circus there in L.A., or wherever the hell this is. Because, if somebody shows up in your courtroom who's on trial for any serious crime, and they show up wandering in pajamas, and you have them sit down there and you continue with the proceedings, I mean, get serial. Anyway, so we didn't make Boog a big offer, Humper says, to try to keep him. And the Dolphins, I guess we didn't make a big offer because they're going across the street. I wonder what's taken so long. But the word is absolutely positively they will not be using the same broadcasters.
All right.
So we will not be hearing that. See, and that's such a bad mistake, especially Mad Dog. I mean, he is the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So I think that's, like I told you before the show, that's typical of what's going on with the Dolphin organization. They're going right down the tubes into the turlet. The season they had last year, their Wannstedt era, and all that business that followed it, the 4-12 season and missing the playoffs becoming a regular thing now. This is the direction they're going in. Into the tank. So it's probably just as well we're losing them because, South Florida have a couple losing seasons in a row, and it's bye-bye. Who do we root for now? That kind of stuff. Here's our poll question yesterday. The biggest problem with Dade County is we had 1,642 votes, and that's losing an hour on the Internet, too. Remember that yesterday? We had a little bit of a problem. Well, maybe not an hour, about 40 minutes.
Whatever.
Thanks a lot, Eric. I realize it's not your fault, but we like blaming Eric for just about anything. If it rains, if it's cloudy, it's Eric's fault.
We don't want to tell you how many times he called Josh with,
With excuses?
Or explanations.
No, with excuses? Whoa, we're just tired of it. That's it. I want that thing running like clockwork, man, like a clockwork orange. We want that thing grinding away. All the big bucks that I'm paying every month to keep that damn thing going, grind it away, baby. We actually were paying Josh a few bucks, too, but because of his behavior lately, because he wouldn't go out there and vote. You notice if he would have gone to Dade County and carpetbagged a little bit, he could have probably voted in Dade.
No.
Yes?
No.
If you would have made the effort, if you'd have gotten some fake ID, you could have gone there in Dade. You might have put it over the top, you and 6,000 of your best friends. Hey, it's really sad, but like I said, nobody cares. I'm not going to keep beating my head against a brick wall. You don't give a crap. So you can lead a horse to water. You can lead a horse to the finish line, but you can't make him cross it. And that's what it's all about. Nobody gives a crap. Man, it's terrifying to me that there's just no passion. It's like you're living in the middle of a bunch of lumps, Bump on a log. Mm-hmm. Bump on a log. That's South Florida. I mean, even like in South Carolina and in Mississippi, they care about something, even if it's only hate, you know? Now, I will say in Dade County they do hate, but right now there's no particular reason to hate. Although the biggest problem with Dade County is it's a Banana Republic 548. That's a little hate. Banana Republic, what do you say to that? Huh?
Absolutely correct, sir.
Nobody speaking English, 401.
Incredible.
Too many old right-wing Cubans, 324. They got the keys to the kingdom, baby. They're the ones who are pulling the chain. They're the ones who are making the decisions and the deals. And it's because the rest of you are like all busy complaining. Oh, gee, those Cubans. Yeah, you're all sitting back, bitching and moaning, doing nothing. Including especially the dark community in Dade County, which is ever expanding, man. We got North Miami Beach and Liberty City and Overtown and North Miami. I mean, there's Alapata, Lemon City. It is as dark, even at the noon it's dark. And Carrie Meek gave it her best shot, but she couldn't motivate you dark folks to get off your ass, which is really sad because you'd had a good time losing your money at the slots. The traffic, 159. The politicians, 85. The non-Hispanics don't vote. Well, we finally got that up to 59, but it's still a very... we should put another number at the end of that, like maybe should have been in first place. The non-Hispanics don't vote. They sit back and let a bunch of sorry-ass, green-toothed losers make the decisions for them. Nothing. Dade is great. 37 idiots said that, 2.2%. Misery loves company, so they're trying to convince themselves they're having a wonderful life in Dade. And the Miami Herald was in last place, 29, and that's probably because most of our crowd doesn't read it. And a good choice, by the way. Here's the facts. Let's see. I haven't gotten to the poll. Okay, I'll put that over there. Haven't got to that yet. I do like putting the poll up there early, though. It seems to generate a little bit of early interest there. Only Hank and I got to stop talking about racetracks because nobody cares about horses. Nobody cares about any of that stuff. Don't forget on Monday. Let me remind him that.
Okay.
No, that's a tune-out. Nobody cares about the pari-mutuels and about horse racing and dogs and high. Nobody cares. In Florida, anyway. It's like one step away from talking hockey. It's like a tune-out. Like, what are these people talking about? Are they talking in a foreign language? Frankie Dettori my ass. Who are we talking about?
Huh?
10:14 at 560 WQAM. Even.
Ay, Dios mío, esos carros.
Absolutely.
She's oily and old. Looks like the Quaker Oats guy. Smells from the body roll mold. Barbara Bush has 40,000 eyes full of her ice popped out. It happened when she realized she raised more criminal clout. Barbara Bush has 40,000 eyes. And she's nasty, old and crafty, and she raised more boys than nasty. She's atrocious and takes some bricks to anyone who says they want no boys. Walks like she's carrying a bowling ball between her thighs and has 40,000 eyes. She's having feature score as if she's always surprised. She's wiggle when she talks. Barbara Bush has 40,000 eyes. She gave us George Bush and Jeb Bush, not to mention Bill and Robin Bush. Filthy rich and fat and smells just like the magic sauce on a Big Mac. Barbara Bush resembles Ernest Borgnine on a bad day with 40,000
I don't know what's worse news. Martha Stewart debuts on Billionaires List or the shootings in Atlanta. Did you see the picture of the dark-complected guy that did the shootings in the courthouse in Atlanta?
No, I changed it.
Oh, yes. What did I tell you about dark folks with guns? Bad combination, man. It's like water and oil. It's like booze and pills. It's a bad combination. Anyway, I'll get to today's poll. All the stuff, see, it's good when we put the new poll up early and we're getting faxes. It's really good. Cindy Margolis is the beaded curtain chick today with boobs. Now, didn't you tell me that she denies she ever was photographed topless?
She likes to say that. She then never posed topless.
Then maybe it's a stunt photo. Maybe she's got her head, like at the carnival, you know, she's got her head on somebody else's body, because it looks like a couple of boobies to me. A couple of big nips, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, they are.
Cindy Margolis sounds awful Jewish to me. I don't know no goyim named Margolis. Anyway, she was born October 1st, 65 in L.A., And let's see, her work is rather limited.
Nevertheless.
Dead Above the Ground, Sol Good. What is that? Sol Good.
Sol Good.
Oh. Cindy Margola's show, Chairman of the Board, Austin Powers International Man of Mystery, Mad TV, Ally McBeal, Howard Stern Show, Radio Show, E! Show, Shasta McNasty, The Martin Short Show. I heard that's a short show. To Tell the Truth, In Your Dreams with Cindy, Comedy Central's Canned Ham, and a few other appearances here and there, a few other spotty appearances. So let's see, that would make her 39, is what she is. Let's see, here's a fax from Alan Coral Springs who says, please get rid of Ashcroft's face on your website. No, it's disgusting, although it does make the girls look that much better. Please go nationwide and be a voice for the progressives. Oh, I'm a voice in the wilderness. Here I am. Yeah, right. I can hear you now. Hello, I'm Neil Rogers, a fat fag from Florida. I'm not taking it anymore. Right. First team, Neil, Mad Dog, Fat Hank. A great day of radio lost. What holes, he says, Alan Coral Springs. I don't know what that means, but nevertheless. What he's trying to say, I guess, is once upon a time we had everything going just fine, and then Greg kept picking up that egg and breaking it and smashing it, and then trying to put the pieces together. How many times did I tell you that about the Humpty Dumpty egg? How many times did I tell you?
About 30, man.
Yeah. So here's the poll today. I like this poll. Thanks. I think her name was Linda. Some lady sent this in. I'm going through my pile poll here, desperately trying to come up with something new and different and innovative and scintillating, something we haven't done before. I know we haven't done this one before, right?
No.
Maybe I Schmidt-canned her thing. I guess I did. Linda, thank you, or whoever it was that sent this in. And the poll is, who is your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being ugly? Got it?
We got it.
It's not all that easy in the beginning, but then when you really put your mind to it.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Bronson was her choice, Linda's choice, and a good one, I guess, because he's weeding the pack. 70 for Charles Bronson. He is as grotesque. Humphrey Bogart, 45, craggy, old, very ugly guy. And yet, in spite of that, he was like a sex symbol, Humphrey Bogart, him and Lauren Bacall. Both very ugly, and both actually looked the same, you know. Even when they were young, they were grotesque, with a lot of wrinkles and, I don't know. All that smoking, I guess, gets to you. Humphrey Bogart, 45. Oh, Steve Buscemi, 23, which I don't even know how the hell he sneaked in there. I don't know where that came from.
Came in on a fax before the show. So
but he's doing very well. What are you eating now, Mr. Hotshot?
Bacon,
Mr.
egg, and,
what?
Bacon, egg, and cheese hoagie from Howie's.
Oh, now don't you remember last time that made you, like, crap your brains out right in the middle of the show? Bacon, cheese, and egg. If I were Josh, I'd be, like, staying real close to that other door. But I would keep the door open for ventilation.
But I'm eating the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like I said.
That's how good they are. It's worth it.
It's like being in church, sitting in your own pew. Barbara Streisand, 15. James Cagney, a dozen. Kathy Bates has got 10. You know, cockadoodie Kathy Bates. Dick Van Dyke, 10. Of course, back in the day when that movie Misery was out, we could say cockadoodie. Now we can't say that. We can't even say howdy doody.
Can't even think it.
Ed Asner, 9. Bette Midler, 8. Peter Lorre, 8. Bela Lugosi, 7. Boris Karloff, 5. Yeah, that's right. Even without the makeup, he was pretty gruesome. Betty Davis, 2. This damn thing just changed and moved around again. And then we got Fred Gwynn, somebody says, and Rhea Perlman. They're married. Oh, no, I see. Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman. Well, it'd be kind of hard for Fred Gwynn to be married. He's been dead for 12 years.
Right.
Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman should go under your ugly poll as a couple since they're married. Can you imagine what their offspring look like? Probably just like what Whitney's offspring's going to look like on Passions with the 4 heads like that cat. So here for the poll, Fred Gwynn, Herman Munster. Yeah, he was a really ugly guy. I don't think he needed all that much makeup.
No, just some lip.
So that's what we got so far on there on the poll, and you can add to it as you wish or not, as the case may be. Now, somebody called in yesterday about this story, and lo and behold, there it was. Found it after this show. In Tampa, and you know what we think of Tampa, a man apparently enraged by a Bush Cheney sticker on a woman's sport utility vehicle faces felony charges after chasing her for miles and trying to run her off the road as he held an anti-Bush sign, police said. He told our officers that he just got mad at her, so he went after her, said police spokesman Joe Durkin. Nathan, no relation to Tom Durkin, I'm sure. Nathan Allen Winkler, 31, was free after posting $2,000 early bond Wednesday on a charge of aggravated stalking, which carries a maximum 5-year prison sentence. No one answered the phone yesterday at Winkler's home. I wonder if he's kin to Henry Winkler. But his father, 59-year-old John Winkler, said it didn't sound like his son. I know that he's very anti-Bush, but I don't see him doing anything like that, said the elder Winkler. He's the least aggressive person I know. I think it's a good idea. You see somebody with a pro-Bush bumper sticker on their car, run him off the road. Right?
Right.
Just run him into a ditch.
Gently.
Or maybe like the guy in Atlanta, just shoot him in the leg a couple of times just to change their altitude. Winkler told police he got upset with the woman, 35-year-old Michelle Fernandez. I wonder if she's kin to Giselle Fernandez. See, isn't this amazing? After she made an obscene hand gesture, Durkin said, Fernandez was taking her 10-year-old son and 3-year-old daughter to a ball field in her Ford Expedition Tuesday when the incident occurred. Whatever gestures I made them because I was trying to figure out why he was honking at me and pointing at a sign, Fernandez told the St. Pete Times. Police said that as Winkler chased the woman's vehicle, he held up a small sign in his Nissan sedan that read, "Never forget Bush's illegal war murdered thousands in Iraq." I think he's got a hell of a point.
Right.
Maybe he has that sign with him, so he's prepared any time he comes up against the Republican, Durkin said. According to a 9/11 call made by Fernandez, Winkler attempted to run her off busy city streets. At one point, pulled in front of her, got out and began running toward her vehicle. "Oh, my goodness, he's a fanatic. He's in the middle of the street," she said on the 9/11 tape. "Oh, my God," she said.
Oh, my God.
Just like that. Fernandez eventually made it to the ball field with her children, found a police officer, and described the car and license tag number. Within an hour, police arrested Winkler at his home. Fernandez also said she's a registered Democrat, but voted for President Bush in the 2004 election. Another one of those Dixiecrats, make-believe ersatz Democrats, which we have so many in the South.
I don't buy it.
Especially over there in Tampa. "Oh, I'm a Democrat, but I voted for Bush. I voted for a fascist. I voted for Nazism because it's, it's right up my alley, Sally." I bet you she goes to Crystal a lot. Guaranteed. She's just the kind of person that goes to Crystal and maybe once in a while to Hardee's, She don't have enough good taste to go to Steak and Shake. Which I realize the burgers suck, they fall apart, but the shakes are great.
Yeah,
what a shame, too, about that. Huh?
And what's wrong with Hardee's?
No, there's nothing wrong with Hardee's. It's just that rednecks go there. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what they get? See, the good stuff at Hardee's, like the shroom burger, which I love those. They don't get that. Or like that monster burger. They get the gravy and biscuits. No, I don't know what you're laughing about. That's a Hardee's speciality, baby.
I know.
That's what they're known for, is their breakfasts.
With that
gravy and biscuits,
white
man.
Gravy.
One thing about those biscuits is that they affect your brain. That's why the people in the South behave and think and act the way that they do and speak the way that they do and are generally highly uneducated and really a bunch of mugwumps, is because too many of them damn biscuits at Hardee's. If you have a hearty appetite, that's a good place not to go.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Friday, you bastard.
Rainbow flags and earrings in my right ear. Am I queer?
Yes.
People stop and stare when we are near. Homophobia, we're just living life the way we want to. It's 'cause I'm gay, and that is all. When people say those nasty, nasty things they do, it's 'cause I'm gay, and that is all. It's just something they can't approve. Flaming screamers dressed up all in drag. It's so sad, they're the ones that make us all look bad. Oh, so bad. We're just living life the way we want to. It's 'cause I'm gay, and that is all. It's why they say those nasty things they do. It's 'cause I'm gay, and that is all. But it could be so hard inside you. Oh yes, so hard inside you, inside.
Ten 10:33, 27 before 11 at 560 WQAM. We got Mo Howard David in. I hear he's going to have Charlton Heston on this afternoon at 2:30. And talking about gun control, Jim Mandich at 4, and broadcasting from Publix at 9050 Biscayne Boulevard, Miami Shores. Another one of those Mad Dog at the fruit market at Publix. I don't understand that. Geldy at 7, and then Eddie K at 10. Now, we had a separate schedule, a standby schedule in case UM won, but guess what?
They lost?
They lost. Oh, and speaking of that bit we just played, I just want a little heads up for anybody out there that buys into this crap about guys who wear earrings in their left ear are straight. We've discussed this many a time over the years on the show, and I just want to make it very clear. I hope Josh doesn't have any guys who are buddies of his who wear earrings in either ear.
I know somebody with earrings.
Yeah.
They wear 2 these days.
Flaming! Yeah. Well, yeah, that at least is a little more honest wearing 2. Because any guy that wears an earring in his ear, heast ready for anything. You know what I mean?
At least you're balanced. When you're
there you go. That's right. A defendant stole a weapon from a deputy and shot and killed a judge. See, this seems to be going on a lot more lately, you know what? A hell of a lot more. How is it that these deputies are so fast and loose with their weapons, huh? Wouldn't you think it would be a little bit difficult? But a defendant stole a weapon from a deputy and shot and killed a judge at the Fulton County Courthouse this morning. TV reports that a court reporter and 2 deputies also were shot. Atlanta police spokeswoman Marion Lee said one person was shot in the courthouse parking lot and another was shot outside the courtroom, reportedly on the 8th floor of the courthouse. And they showed the picture. They had the guy's name. Boy, their website is so far behind. They showed the dark-complected suspect. Well, he's not really a suspect because they've seen him do it. Dark folks and guns, a very, very dangerous, volatile combination. Definitely unacceptable. Speaking of guys who used to be dark but aren't anymore, in the most critical day of his trial so far, Michael Jackson heard his accuser level graphic allegations of child molestation at him yesterday after the singer arrived late in pajama bottoms and slippers and was threatened with jail by a judge who was unswayed by his claim of a back injury. And by the way, everybody who knows him will tell you he don't have no back injury. Even Shmuley Boteach. I just like saying that.
I like hearing it.
Oh, Shmuley Boteach, his spiritual advisor, former. The dramatic entrance quickly paled as the trial reached the heart of the prosecution's case, with the accuser describing lewd remarks and acts by Jackson, then engaging in a combative exchange with Jackson's lawyer. After you met with an attorney, you came up with a story that you were masturbated by Michael Jackson, attorney Thomas Mesereau Jr. said, in an attack on the most damaging testimony given against Jackson. The boy denied that attorneys influenced him, and he became defensive under the cross-examination. He said he once considered Jackson his best friend in the world, but indicated he felt rejected by the star at one point. The pop star, wearing a coat over his T-shirt, walked gingerly into the court. Yeah, gingerly. He looked like Ginger. After being treated at a hospital for what was described as a serious back problem resulting from a fall. Jackson arrived. That's interesting because there were 2 different versions. Did you hear them screaming about it on CNN this morning?
No.
His spokeslady, she first said that he woke up and couldn't walk at all. He woke up with a bad back problem. And then one of his other flunkies said, oh, yeah, he got up and walked around, but then he had a bad fall.
I see.
So you figure it out. You take your pick. Jackson arrived after Judge Rodney Melville threatened to arrest him and revoke his $3 million bail. The judge later vacated the warrant. Jurors only got a hint of the strange courtroom drama. Mr. Jackson had a medical problem. It was necessary for me to order his appearance, Melville told jurors, adding that he didn't want the panel to draw any negative inferences from the developments. Now, somewhere in here here it is, from the New York Daily News today. Insiders fear Jackson will commit suicide. And he also heard that from Shmuley Boteach, not that he's going to kill himself, but that the drugs are going to because he's popping pills like crazy. Even Rush is jealous.
Good.
Yeah, it couldn't happen too fast to make us happy. This is not from the Daily News. It's from Fox News, so you know it might be a 1 in 10 chance. Michael Jackson's close friends now really fear that he will commit suicide. The scene yesterday morning at the courthouse in Santa Maria has convinced people who ordinarily do not say these things that Jackson is in serious mental trouble, as in like that. It says here he makes Greg Reed look sane. One thing is for sure, the combined pressures of his financial peril and seeing his accuser on the stand have undone Jackson, as Burton Cummings in the Guess Who would say, he come undone. My insider says he doesn't have back trouble, as Jackson claimed. He's making it up, but he's definitely in pain. He's creating it. Jackson's publicist, Raymond Bain, insists that Jackson called his lawyer at 5:15 yesterday morning to tell him of his severe back pain. But I can tell you, writes Roger Friedman, that Jackson also made other calls to a variety of people. It didn't sound like he was in pain. He sounded like someone who'd been up all night and was frantic, who was like Duff when he was doing the dump buttons on the Howard Stern show. Do we have that thing?
Yeah, but I don't know what it's called.
That sound? I don't know what it is. Well, we got this.
Duff, get off this instant.
We got that. So anyway, believe what you want. Okay, let's take a couple of calls. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hello. Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Neil.
Yep.
I just want to first of all, belated happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
And also, I saw
Dick
Feinberg at the victory party, and he said Neil was great. I said I was listening to him all day in front of the precinct, and
yeah.
He was just great. But here's the thing on Class 2.
Yeah.
Why
do you keep stopping? Why do you keep stopping? Oh, this is the guy that sounds like Bob Lincoln.
No, this is...
Yeah, it is.
This is Casino Stan. How you doing? The Seminoles.
Stan Wertheimer.
This is Stan Wertheimer?
Thank you, Neil.
Get out of here, you... Oh, jeez. He must be covering up the phone with, like, a sock or something. Gee, disguising the voice. Get out of here, okay? I thought, well, this guy, whoever the hell this is the most boring, ponderous stuff I ever heard in my life. Will you stop? Stop it already. Go away and stop kissing my ass and stop with your gambling obsession, okay? Get yourself some mental help before it's too late. Oh, Jesus.
Exclusively on 560 QAM.
For one rated Mohammed David in his show, at least according to my aspirations. Stay away from me. I don't even know how you have children. Miramar, hello.
Yes, I want your take on Jay Fiedler.
Oh, well, Jay Fiedler is a great quarterback and a good Jew.
I like Jay Fiedler.
Well, not to mention he's got extraordinarily smooth buttocks.
Oh, yeah!
But you gotta be careful what you say here.
Okay, Doc. Thank you, Mom.
No, wait a minute. Don't go.
But I have nothing else to say.
Well, how about this? How's the weather down there in the Miramar?
I'm right down the street from you.
Oh, yeah.
I have to go.
Oh, wait, by the way, something.
No, I have to go.
Look, I tell you what, I'll hold you over the break. How's that, huh? I'll give you one of my old tank T-shirts. How's that?
Bye.
No, wait! That was the only caller we had.
The veins on your nose is glowing again. Wow! You got big purple veins on your nose and on your face, and around those oozing pimples you call If you go look in the mirror, you'll see a roadmap of ypsilanti. You got your hippies on, way too tight.
My nose glows when something stings. Almost every day I think. And my veins, they start to tickle. My adenoid, doy. Yeah, I look like I'm falling apart. That's because I'm a grumpy old man. With a nose that's filled with purple veins. Something like that you ought to see. I'll try and channel discovery. My nose has a bleeding purple vein. Try to sing it.
10:45 at 560 WQAM. Jay says Clint Howard for the poll. He's Ron Howard's brother. Always plays small roles in all his movies. He looks like a shorter, uglier Ron Howard, but he's in a ton of movies.
Right.
Usually playing interesting or bizarre characters.
He's a freak, yes. I was
Also,
watching
Jay,
in a movie last night.
What about Gary Busey?
Okay, with those teeth.
Teeth? He is one of the ugliest people that ever set foot on the face of the earth.
Yeah, but he's got big teeth.
Well, regardless, with or without the teeth, he is grotesque. Gary Busey. Now, I'm not sure if anybody will like him or not, but let's give it a shot. Also, Jay says, I'm 31, I've had both ears pierced since I was 15. I'm not flaming, I have a wife, you know. Seriously, it's not that uncommon now. I know that, Jay, I just say that to aggravate certain people. Like Josh. Make him wonder about it. You wondering about it, Josh?
Not really.
Yeah, you are. Love the show. Keep up the 50-cent story of the day. We don't have no 50-cent story of the day, Jay, but starting on Monday, we'll scour desperately to find the 50-cent shooting story of the day. Although we got the shooting in Atlanta, that'll have to do for today. Triple shooting. Let's see. Speaking of dark folks, how about Wesley Snipes? That is one black son of a bitch, it says. Yeah.
He is that.
Well, he's dark. There are some black folks like Malcolm, like, what's his name, Shamar Moore.
Yes.
Who's back on that show? I don't watch that show, The Young and the Horny, but it's on like right before the news on Global at 5:30 every day. So I see the ass end of that show in the last couple of minutes, and Malcolm is back. Only now he's got the cornrows. Oh, that's
lovely.
I don't know what. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what bothers me more, dreadlocks or cornrows. Huh?
Well, they're similar.
No, well, no, it's similar, but not a match, and the board goes back. And even worse than that is ponytails. I am just not a ponytail kind of guy. Just leaves me limp. You know, it's like George Carlin. I mean, George Carlin can get away with it because he's a 60s kind of guy,
yeah,
you know.
He lost that 20 years ago.
No, but I'm saying he could get away with it because it matched his whole ambiance. But there's some people now, like Woody Graber, for example. What does he need a ponytail for? Even your buddy Jeff Cohn, who used to be my friend, even he knocked his off. And a ponytail, too. Remember those days when we were good buddies with him?
Sure.
But then your buddy Skippy got involved, and then Rimmer got opened up a big mouth. Pop, 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 pop. You know, there's nothing worse than people with a big mouth, you know. Stirring the pot. Smoking, it's one thing. Stirring, it's another thing. Oh, and here's an idea for a future poll. Let's see. Your favorite... Oh, that's a good one. We have done that, but not in a long time. Favorite drop-in, like...
About 30, man.
Okay, let me put that in my pile poll, and thank you so very much, whoever that was. We got Clint Howard, we got Gary Busey.
Yeah.
In case you tuned in late, we've got a very important poll today. Who's your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being ugly, really ugly? What's all that chaos there in Atlanta?
And he has ever encountered. He described the court clerk who was also involved, the court reporter, as baking cookies and brownies for the jurors. A very special woman. In fact, they brought her a thank you card today because today was expected to be the last day of the trial. In describing Mr. Nichols, they said that...
Brian Nichols, 34, 6'1", 210, big dark guy. Blew away the judge and two other guys, or three other people, fighting for their lives. Because crazy people with guns, that's what it's all about. Although he did take the deputy's gun, in all fairness. Let's see. Here's the facts from Louie in Chattanooga, Tennessee, listening online. Thank God for Louie and all the other people listening online. You know we get over 1,000 people listening online every day? Did you know that?
Yeah.
Right before the election, we had over 2,000 a day. But now it'd be like 1,200, 1,300 every day. It's pretty good. And if anybody knew about the show, we'd have a zillion people listening online. Of course, once we get on Sirius, and I'm serious about that, then we'll have like thousands and thousands of people listening all over North America. And they'll be saying, what the hell is this all about? What kind of crap is this man peddling?
I don't know.
What good fortune for those in power that people do not think. That's a quote from Adolf Hitler. These are some scary, scary days, says Louis. And, Louis, I'm going to tell you why it's really scary, not only because of the kind of thing that you wrote there and because we're reliving it all over again, because this time the public just doesn't give a crap. Although, I'll say that during the Hitler era, it was the same thing. During WW2, the only people that, when they started caring is when the bombs started falling in their backyard. Then they started getting real nervous. Other than that, they knew what was going on over there. They just didn't give a crap. You know, as long as it was somebody else, who cares? Maybe those people needed a good shower anyway, right? Time to clean up their act. So anyway, the poll today, I just got through saying that. Did I read it? No.
No.
Your favorite actor or actress made it big in spite of being ugly. Charles Bronson, 78. Humphrey Bogart, 54. Steve Buscemi's got 45, which he's doing extraordinarily well. Danny DeVito, 22. Barbara Streisand, 19, although we did love Danny DeVito in Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes.
Mr. Mancini. Barbara Streisand, 19. James Cagney, 14, who never did say, what is it he's supposed to have said?
You dirty rat.
Oh, you dirty rat. He never said that?
Never.
And also, what's his name? What's his name?
Humphrey Bogart.
No, not Humphrey Bogart. What's his name? Never said, Judy. What's his name? Cary Grant. Cary Grant.
Right.
James Cagney, 14. Kathy Bates, 11. Dick Van Dyke, 11. Ed Asner, 11. Bette Midler, 10. Peter Lorre, 9. Boris Karloff, 7. Bela Lugosi, 7. And for both of those guys, Karloff and Lugosi, wasn't it fortuitous that they were ugly and looked very bizarre, like monstrous, even before the makeup went on? That's what made all that money for them. Rhea Perlman, 3. Fred Gwynne, 2. Clint Howard, 1. None yet. They just went on there, and I love the way we're spelling Gary Busey. Is Gary busy? Well, give him a call and see if he's got a couple minutes for us. Gary Busey, B-U-S-E-Y. What is with you, child?
Like he cares.
Well, maybe he doesn't care. Maybe that's the problem.
No, I do. I'll fix that right now.
No, you don't. Why don't you admit it? You don't care. Why don't you just admit it? Be honest once in your life. You're a slacker. We like you because you don't care. Okay, you fit right in with QAM.
No, but I do.
Like our sales department, they don't care. and They want me not to care. I'm not capable of not caring. That's my biggest personal failing is I have the inability to fit into QAM because I refuse not to care. Like our sales manager, who's a real slacker. If you look up slacker in the dictionary, you see his picture next to it. There he is. What's his name? What's his name?
Clint Howard.
Whatever his name is.
Sounds like you need therapy.
What is his name?
I forgot.
The sales manager, Curtis.
There it is.
See, you're really off your feed today. Yeah, the other day you came up with one from I don't know, the bowels of your existence, some name. And now today, easy ones. I have to keep Cary Grant. Yeah, Larry Justice. Wow. That was shocking. How many minutes did he work at IOD?
About 30, man.
About half an hour he worked there, and this guy remembers him. Well, he's not
I never met him.
Forgettable. I met him once. Came in. His claim to fame was about 100 years ago he worked at WBZ. And then, don't call me old, but 100 years ago I worked at WBZ. Well, if it was 100 years ago, Larry, he must be an old coot. And like you said, he wasn't even as old as I was. And when they axed him, he filed these lawsuits for age discrimination. Oh, God. Give me a break, Larry. The fact of the matter is you sucked on the air. That's why they fired you. Just one of those things. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines on a very singular Friday. I have to admit, that's my biggest failing, is that I just can't stop caring. And that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing.
It'll be the death of you.
You're right. If I could just be as indifferent as these bastards here, Curtis and that whole sales department already talk about slackers, man. Talk about people that they don't want the lazy way out. They just don't want to do even whatever is 10 steps below lazy. That's our crowd. Oh, copy. Oh, just cash the check. Berkeley, next time you come in there, you nasty, smelly bitch, you just wait till you hear the reception you're going to get from me. In fact, when I'm down there, very soon, as a matter of fact, I'll be there for a week doing some shows. I just can't wait to see Berkeley again. So I can go right after up and down the hall with that machete we got sitting there. Might as well get some use. Man, you have got some excuse for not doing your job, okay? It's real easy when some bogus agency, and believe me, like I've told you for years, everybody in South Florida's got their own agency. Even Todd Dreck's got an agency. Oh, yeah. So instead of writing copy, what they do is they take some piece of paper that was sent fax to them or emailed to them by some quote-unquote agency, and then they give it to us. Here, make magic with this. Wipe your ass with this, which you might as well. And that's it. And if you say, well, after weeks and weeks and months, how about some copy change? How about something new and different and exciting that might motivate somebody to go out and subsidize our clients and give them some business and make it worth their effort advertising on QAM? Just take the check to the bank. Just cash the check. Berkeley, you are the epitome of what's wrong with WQAM. You are as indifferent as the day is long. You are a sad case, honey. Let me tell you right now. 567-0560, you know the rest. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
How you doing?
Okay.
I got a name for your poll.
Uh-huh.
How about James Woods?
Oh, God, what a perfect choice. That is outstanding.
Oh, God.
Man, what a zithead.
All right, thanks.
Thanks a lot, Pally. That's a good one, James Woods. How come we've forgotten about that?
Easily.
Why is that?
Because I can't stand it.
I know that, but that's one of the reasons we should have thought about it, because this is not a complimentary poll. This is, although there's some of these people we like a lot, they just happen to be ugly, which some of us can't help that, We just were, born of ugly parents. You had some bad genes. Now, in my case, I had two ugly parents, but the difference being that they both lived to 90 plus. So on the one hand, I might be around a long time, although I doubt it. I might be, but on the other hand, I just, unfortunately.
Well, as soon as you learn how to not care, you might be.
About what? No, I really don't care about that. Okay. I don't care about that. I do just fine. I fumble my way through life just fine. Believe me. Trust me. Take my word for it. In spite of it, which is pretty miraculous. But when you have a bubbling, effervescent personality like I do, it just compensates for a lot of things. Cat shoots owner. Here's a great story. Speaking, even the cats are shooting it up now. We had the two-headed cat yesterday. This is in Bates Township, Michigan. I have no idea where that is, but I'd sure like to know. I haven't lived in Michigan for 12 years. In Marshall and Albion and Detroit and Sturgis. Sturgis, Michigan. There's a place you want to avoid at all costs, although they got a great restaurant with good clam chowder there. Oh, man. Don't you love good New England clam chowder?
Yes, I do.
It's in a hotel, and I can't think of what it was. Sturgis, Michigan. It's right across the Indiana border there. I lived in Howe, Indiana. How? Cheaply.
Oh.
Bates Township, Michigan. A man cooking in his kitchen was shot after one of his cats knocked his 9mm handgun onto the floor, discharging the weapon, Michigan State Police said. Beware those Michigan State Police, man. Joseph Stanton, 29, of Bates Township in Iron County, I have no idea where that is, was shot in his lower torso around 6 p.m. Tuesday. The state police post in Iron River reported he was transported to Iron County Community Hospital. Now, what was the beer that they used to advertise on the Pirates games in Pittsburgh, that big beer in western Pennsylvania, Iron
City.
Is that it, Iron City?
Yeah.
Remember that? No, you don't. It's before you were born. Bob Prince and Jim Woods on the Pirates games. Iron City. They advertise all the Pittsburgh. Anyway, that's big there. How do you know that?
Well, I know the beer.
Oh, you know your beer, mister. I'll tell you that. I bet you never drank no half gallons of Meisterbrow, though, like I did when I was in Michigan State.
Yeah,
Michigan.
I did.
That's the way to do it. I used to love Meisterbrow.
Out of the can.
Michelle Sand, out of a big bottle, half gallons.
Out of 40?
Michelle Sand, a spokeswoman at the Iron River Hospital, said Stanton was treated there before being transferred to Marquette General Hospital for further treatment. But Marcy Miller, a representative of the Marquette facility, said there was no record of the hospital receiving a patient by that name, yada, yada. So the cat shot the guy, kind of like, in a very bizarre way. But I guess if a cat shoots you, it would probably be in a bizarre way, wouldn't it?
Probably.
When you think. Don't forget, we got Mo Howard David at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Bella Lugosi will be his guest at 2:45.
You're listening to Neil Rogers on 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
No. All the world loves the clown. So this April Fool's Day, this radio station is going to make a fool out of you.
That's right.
We're going to turn you into a laughing star. Just be the 10th caller when you hear this sound.
and we'll yank your pants down around your ankles, tie your hands behind your head, paint a smiley face on your butt cheeks, and lock you out of your house.
You'll be the center of attention in no time.
Remember, they're not laughing at you, they're laughing with you and your butt cheeks.
Employees of this radio station are not eligible to be made fools of, since they've already done quite a good job making fools of themselves every day on the air. Employees who nevertheless wish to drop their pants in public are encouraged to do so after leaving the station property.
Ho, ho, ho.
Be an April Fool. Keep listening for your chance to win.
It's 11:01 at 560 WQM. Don't tell me. Oh, for a second there, I got scared with that website. Just crapped out for a half a second. Jerry in Bonita Springs says, I realize the polls for your favorite actor that made it despite their looks, but I'm afraid these guys may not make the poll. I see. Well, why not? Right. How can you say that? All three of the people he's got listed here are people who were outstanding actors, and a lot of people I'm sure like them a lot. Like Lee J. Cobb. I would change my vote, as a matter of fact, if I could, which I can't. I love Lee J. Cobb. He was a very craggy, ugly-looking guy, but he was a great, great actor. Great. Not good. Great. Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen wasn't ugly.
No, he got old, but that happened to
everybody.
everybody.
But Steve McQueen was not ugly.
No.
Jerry, you're a little off your feet. Okay? And James Coburn.
That long
James Coburn wasn't ugly. He was kind of a distinguished-looking guy in his day. But Lee J. Cobb is right. He was a ugly guy. He was very craggy-faced. Yeah. So 1 out of 3 ain't bad. That's 333. Even Petey Rose didn't hit that. Even little Petey Rose. Well, here's a fact that says, lest anyone forget if a more graphic example of the similarity of Brits and Germans. Oh, yeah, the Brits and the Nazis, same people. It was the British that invented the concept. And, of course, George Herbert Walker, Prescott Bush, that whole Bush family, Nazis. It was the British who invented the concentration camp. They would round up Afrikaners during the Boer War at the turn of the last century. They would gather the Boer fighters' families, the Africans, and sympathizers, and place them conveniently in one place. The Germans, and to a lesser extent, the U.S., perfected this action during WW2. Well, how do you like that? In fact, I think it was an American show. It was called Concentration with Hugh Downs and Art James later on. Yeah, and the board goes back. 5670560. Boy, they're sure making quite a to-do. One of the court reporter died, too, so now it's 2 dead in Atlanta.
They are still searching for Brian Nichols. There is still...
oh, I thought they had him. They're still looking for him.
Courthouse, and still 50 to 100 or so gathered here.
Well, just look for a tall, dangerous-looking dark guy. That would be real easy to find in Atlanta. 5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon. Ever been to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Nah.
Been through there.
Don't waste your time.
Never lingered. No.
Much ado about nothing. Much ado about nothing. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I have one for your poll. I just tuned in.
Go ahead.
Jimmy Durante.
Inka-dinka-doo. Oh, he was as ugly. His face could stop could stop Big Ben.
Ooh.
Thanks, Callie. Okay. Bye. Jimmy Durante. Inka-dinka-doo. I mean, yeah. I bet you I got that. Yeah, I think I do. Not that I want to stall around here with these themes. I love that thing with the themes, huh? Sure. I think everybody likes that. Even this audience, it's very difficult to please. Oh, you just got through doing that. Well, I'm not doing it again, but... oh, don't tell me it's not on here, the Jimmy Durante show. There's the Danny Thomas show and the Ernie Kovac show. Danny Thomas is real ugly, too, but nobody knows who that is anymore. So, no. But Jimmy Durante, even though he was on a zillion years ago, I think pretty much everybody knows Jimmy Durante. Because who else would say, ain't-ka-dink-a-doo, right?
Book O'Brien.
Yeah, Book O'Brien would say that.
Often does.
What's that one bit that he's got about Inky-Dinky? Oh, he does stuff that I don't know if anybody appreciates, but he does stuff like, it's just amazing. Like that last bit we were playing only moments before about adenoid doy. Yeah. Who else has got a warped enough mind to come up with something like that?
Only him.
Besides Delray Dan. I mean, Boca Brian. It was, thank God we stole that from Paula, you know, with that idea of having some guy with a local nickname making up the bits. Mm-hmm. Kind of like J America. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Great show, man. Hey, I got
yes,
a couple
it is. I like it a lot. Go ahead.
I got a couple people to add to the poll.
Go right ahead. Take your time. Don't be in a rush.
Minnie Driver.
Oh, Minnie Driver. She could drive me crazy.
Jet Li. I don't know how he can ever. I don't know how he can even be on screen. He's horrible.
He knows kung fu.
And true. And Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, he's real ugly. You're right. That's a good one. And his kid's ugly too. Kiefer. Kiefer. I don't like either one of them. Although I saw Kiefer Sutherland in a movie that was pretty good. I just don't know what it was. I talked about it a few weeks ago, so it was okay. Right. Did you get that movie yet with that I just got through telling you about, whatever the hell it was, and I forgot already?
No.
You didn't get it? What's that movie I was just telling you about the other day?
I don't know.
With the Tom Berenger. Am I going to have to go in the other room and get the DVD during the break? Oh, jeez. What? Oh, here's Kitty Carlisle. Is that What's My Line?
Yeah.
Oh, What's My Line with John Charles Daly and Kitty Carlisle and Poopy Campo and Soupy Sales. 5670560. See, it's one good thing about being old is the bad thing about it is that the Grim Reaper is waiting any second to take your ass away and stick you in that ugly box. But the good thing is, all of this crap that all these punks don't know anything about, the only problem is they really don't want to know. They just look at you and say, oh, geez, what an old fuddy-duddy living in the past. And, of course, we don't really care because we realize how limited their life experience is, even though they are getting a lot of action. 567, like Josh there, he doesn't know any of these people we're talking about. Do you know Jimmy Durante?
Not really.
I mean, would you recognize him on the screen if they put his nose on there? I mean, or the rest of them?
No.
Oh, see? So you have no idea what that's all about. Ink-a-dink-a-doo, Mrs. Calabash, good night wherever you are. You know what that is.
No.
Believe me, you missed nothing. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil. It's Charlene from the Mad Dog Show.
What is that? What is that? WQAM, hello.
I'm dying over here.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That sounded like him, too. Was that Don?
I'm dying over here.
That was Don, although we know that guy actually did die, so. Yeah. Otherwise, we might think it would be him.
I'm dying over here.
That was a very, very good imitation, I would say, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all right.
That was either the original's clone or it was Al Pacino, one or the other. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Pretty good.
That's good. I just got back in the car. Edward James Olmos.
Oh, almost enough to make me drive off the road.
Yes, I agree.
He's like a slightly darker James Woods.
Yes. And the second thing is, I meant to call you back in the beginning of February. We were in Toronto, and we were at Eaton Center and on Yonge Street, and I was thinking about you, and I just never could arrange it because we were up there for job interviews.
Right. Never could arrange what?
Say that one more time. I missed it.
You said you never could arrange it. Arrange what?
Well, I couldn't reach you because our interviews were going on the same time the show was going.
Right.
And so I couldn't take time out from the interviews to get a job. I love you. You're very important, but the jobs were more important.
Yeah, no question about it.
And we are out of here, out of South Florida on, I think it's July 15th, and we're not coming back.
Where are you going?
You promise you're gonna rag on me. I already know that. We're teachers, and we're going to Alexandria, Egypt for 2 years, and then we're headed to Europe.
So what's wrong? Why would I laugh at you with that?
I don't know. Every time I say Egypt, people's faces fall, and they go.
You're involved in some kind of a pyramid scheme if you say that.
Well, this is true, and we will be seeing the pyramids, but it won't be a scam. It will be legit, and they're giving us housing. It's a great deal, great opportunity for the family.
Where are you going to be in Europe?
We're thinking any one of the former communist countries, Budapest, Prague, eventually hitting Italy to teach, and then we're probably going to wind up in either Prince Edward Island or Toronto to live for good.
All right. Excellent choices all the way around. Good luck, eh?
You too. Take care, Neil. All right,
How about that? There's a lady with her head on straight. I can't believe it. That sounded very inviting, you know. Prague and Budapest, they're very close together. And as a matter of fact, next year, that's on my itinerary, one of my big European vacations, if I live that long, if I'm still around, if I don't succumb to the Greg Reed disease. I'm definitely hitting Prague and Budapest. Budapest is becoming like a wild, hysterical, kind of like Amsterdam-like city.
You'll have to let us know.
Well, it goes to show you, once you remove the shackles from some of those people, they just go, like that. Unlike South Florida, where they just,
They
There's
like
just something in the air, man. Like Thunderclap Newman said, there's something in the air. It's those old folks and the old Jews and the old Cubans. They don't want you to enjoy your life. They want you to be as miserable as they are, full of hate and despair. And it's just, it's an unfortunate thing because there are a lot of nice people there, but they generally, like this lady, she was a sweetheart, and she's getting out. When in doubt, get the hell out. Oh! Yeah, that's our motto if you're in South Florida. When in doubt, get out. Before it's too late, before you become one of them. Like speaking of Donald Sutherland. Like the Body Snatchers. He became one of them. Yeah, at the end of the movie. That's my favorite. That's been on a lot lately. I have no idea why. On Scream TV. I wonder what's on Scream TV right now.
I don't know. Check it out.
The Day Mars Invaded Earth.
That was yesterday.
This movie was. There's an old United jet. 1962. Here's LAX. All the palm trees. Anyway, there's a little something for you. Here on the Drive-In Movie Channel, here's Vengeance. Starring Bird Holland and Tiger Joe Marsh. I wonder if he was kin to Joe Marsh Jr., you think?
Who?
I just love all these channels on my digital cable, but I don't want to get into that because that'll get somebody we know very upset, probably Todd Dreck, and we wouldn't want to get him upset. Now, what was the name of the movie with Tom Berenger again? Please.
I don't know. You never found it.
Well, I don't want to forget it. I just got through watching it a couple of days ago. It was very good.
About?
It was about the guy that has the car accident and he loses his memory and all these twists and turns and tries to figure out what it's all about and his wife. Well, I don't want to tell you the ending. It's worth seeing. During the break, I'll go and check it out for you. Anyway, our poll today, your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being ugly. And there are a lot of, now that we're making this list, you come to realize there are tons of these guys. See, it used to be the idea that, well, unless you're a real sex pot, unless you're a real hot-looking babe or some really classy-looking guy like Cary Grant, or Marlon Brando, you had no chance. But guess what? So far, Charles Bronson, 89. Steve Buscemi's moving into a second-place tie with Humphrey Bogart, 64. And, of course, the age factor there, see, will help Steve out a lot.
Right.
Because who the hell knows Humphrey Bogart?
And the fact that Fargo was on again last night.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, I watched it again.
Oh, huh. It was on what?
Showtime, HBO, Cinemax, one of those. Who knows?
Huh.
He ended the same way.
Huh.
Oh, he's a little guy, kind of funny looking.
I was stalling around looking for that. Let's see. Danny DeVito, 36. Barbara Streisand, 25. Kathy Bates and James Cagney, 14. Same person. Ed Asner, 14. Dick Van Dyke, 11. I'll just do the double digits. And Bette Midler's got 10. Ugly people who made it big. So it goes to show you, because most of you, let's face it, most of us are either ugly or like, fairly nondescript. Like George is like nondescript. Like
mediocre.
Right. He don't look good, he don't look bad. He's just there.
Generic.
Which a lot of people in the building are too happy. Yeah, you're generic, a generic human being. Now, in Josh's case, he used to look good until he got in that picture on a website. Now he's starting to look a little beat up and disheveled. It's probably this show did it to him. He used to look a little bit better. Not great, but,
Yeah, I've been stressed since I've been on the show.
The stress from that place will absolutely do it. In fact, by the end of this year, you'll probably look like Gabby Hayes.
You're listening to Neil Rogers on 560 QAM.
I think this new government might be a waste of time. Bush thinks that will fix things up. Sure out of his mind, yeah. There'll still be chaos over there. There'll still be bullets in your hair. I don't want to hear from Bush that he's restoring peace. How will we know it's succeeded with that new democracy? I guess we'll know it's succeeded when you see more Mickey D's. McDonald's.
You are to be happy and to be feeling carefree because President Saddam Hussein has defeated the infidel Clinton and the satanic America while causing great embarrassment to the covetous and inflicting great pain on our enemies during the recent UN inspection standoff. This is why, my fellow Iraqi citizens, Baghdad McDonald's is to be celebrating most strenuously this weekend. Yes. Automatic weapons are to be fired into the air without regard for human safety as you enter the Baghdad McDonald's. Bring what remains of your family to be meeting Ronald Mohammed at the door.
Do not be forgetting, at noon today, I am to be chopping off the hands of the hamburger.
You are to be sending the fruit of your loins to play in the kitty bunker as you choose from a most tempting menu that includes Big Macs with secret scud sauce, Fish McBoom sandwiches, quarter pounder with views, not to be forgetting our famous flies. Yes, my fellow Iraqi citizens, we are to be celebrating our wondrous leader Saddam Hussein's victory over the soulless ones of the United Nations and eat this weekend at the Baghdad McDonald's.
A portion of proceeds will be given to our great leader Saddam Hussein's most secretive researching program to be building weapons of mass destruction.
11:19 at 560 WQM. See, I knew the name of the movie began with an SH, the Tom Berenger flick.
Okay, Shattered.
but I don't want to say it. Yeah, Shattered, very good. If I'd have given you a few more letters, it might have helped too. Here's a fax that's got 3 very good choices for the poll. I say 3 for 3 on this one. Dustin Hoffman, I mean, ugly doesn't even begin to, in Rain Man, he didn't have to, no makeup. You know what I mean? Right. And I love Dustin Hoffman. It's not a shot, but it's just that he's a very ugly guy. Got a nose that's, not only gigantic and strange, but, off where most people's cheek is, you know?
Did you ever see Marathon Man?
100 years ago, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Oh, because it was good, and we have a drop.
And what's that?
Is it safe?
Look, I tell you, I can't do it.
Oh, I thought you were going to play that other one.
Get the chalk!
Yeah. Well, we can't play too much of that. You fairy. Anyway, Dustin Hoffman, Woody Allen, boy, ugly doesn't... You know something? Ugly is an understatement. I mean, I don't know what word to use to describe the looks of that thing. He makes me look lovely. And Abe Vigoda, who, as much as we love Abe Vigoda, he's still alive, right?
Yes.
But he was probably an ugly baby. And in spite of what some people say, I think most babies are ugly, to be honest with you. I mean, most people, coochie, coochie, coochie. Yeah. But if you look at most babies, they're ugly.
Formed. Their heads are all
right. They haven't formed any, facial features. I mean, they're just ugly, and they smell bad. But anyway, Abe Vigoda we'll put on there. We can't get him off the hook, even for old time's sake. Sorry, fish. And, of course, he sleeps with the fishes now. Here's a foul. Gene Rogers says, hate to be a chronic. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. And how come I played that one and we I never thought about, boy, are we slow or what? All of us, all 3 of us. I played Marty Feldman Eyes.
Right.
And we never put Marty Feldman on there.
While it was
Marty Feldman makes Woody Allen look like Brad Pitt. I mean, good God. Marty Feldman. Gene Wilder. And we like Gene Wilder a lot, too. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And Wood Allen, says Gene Rogers. Can't say Wood no more on the air. Says, remember, us chronics are always listening. Yeah, that's the problem, Gene. Just I wish you would have told me that was Casino Stan the first moment you heard his voice.
Figured that, and I did know it was in the first moment.
Oh.
I told Josh, I said, watch Neil go nuts as soon as he figures it out.
Oh!
And Hank walked in to say that he'd called on his show, too.
Oh, no, and I hope Hank gave him the same warm reception that I did once he knew who it was. I mean, just go away. I mean, talk about a one-dimensional person. Just driven, obsessed. We don't need your help. We don't need your interference. Dick Feinberg over there at Pompano Park is doing just fine without your assistance, okay? With your craggy hands, his soap dish hands. That's the one thing I remember about him. There's something about his skin, like he was on that the Invasion from Mars ship. Wow.
Leathery.
You're out of this world, saying he's like his whole body is as leathery as Petey Lenny's face. Steve says, one for your poll, Richard Keel, the character Jaws from the Bond films. Well, I'm thinking of Howard Keel from Showboat. Richard Keel, is that his name?
Tall guy.
Oh,
really
I'm thinking of Richard Kiley.
Really ugly.
Another faithful Internet listener, Steve, who doesn't tell us where he is. Hey, Steve, it would be nice to know where the hell you were, Steve, but he didn't bother telling us. Well, maybe he'll fax back, or maybe not. See, I like that when they tell us where they are. Not that it makes all that much difference, but it makes you feel like you're reaching your tentacles and testicles out a little bit. Oh, yeah, look at that. Somebody over there in Chattanooga's listening. Somebody up there in Portland, Maine. Somebody in Portland, Oregon. Somebody in Ypsilanti. Somebody in Two-Egg. Wouldn't that be great? I think we need to take out a half-page ad in USA Today and get a lot more people on our website, a lot more people listening online. Just stir the pot a little bit, just to aggravate a bunch of people, right? Not going to make us any more money, but just to aggravate some people. Oh, my God, we got somebody on the net listening in Topeka, like that, or Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Or like in Bay City.
Let's
play the Bay City Rollers. What do you say? What?
I'll go to Coeur d'Alene with a sandwich board. I volunteer.
Oh, there you go. That lady sounded like she had a pretty good itinerary. I could have skipped the Egypt part, but after that. WQAM, hello.
Oh, speaking of the hatred.
Yeah, WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil. What's his name that plays Cannon?
Oh, yeah, William Conrad.
You got it.
Good choice, thank you. I love William Conrad, but he sure was ugly, fat and ugly, with a very uneven mustache,
Right.
Good.
Bald.
I'll tell you one thing. It's always, see, Reverend Jones and some of you other idiots out there, which, there's 4 or 5 who need to be put in an oven immediately, if not sooner. It's always really a good idea. The start of the call, like that. Yeah. That's always just a little bit of a tip-off. Even a moron sitting here, which I often am, it's so, there are no words to describe it. Just wasting space, wasting oxygen that some worthwhile creature could be inhaling. Could be living, feeding off of. Wow. It's real good. And by the way, anybody who is listening on the net, wherever you are around the country, around the world, just kiss the ground wherever you are that you're not in Florida. Kiss it right now. Like Bill Clinton would say, kiss it. WQAM, hello.
What's up?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Pretty good, Neil. How about Christopher Walken?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
He makes
That's a
me
good
want to
one.
go into my walk-in closet and never come out. Thanks a lot, Pally. Excellent show.
All right. You too, buddy.
See ya. Christopher Walken, man, he is gruesome. Grotesque. So many ugly people in so little time. Makes us feel better, all the rest of us ugly people. I mean, look at all these grotesque people, and I guarantee you, if they had the choice. Because, see, all these ugly stars, these celebrities, just because they're ugly don't mean they're not getting a lot, you know? Because they're celebrities, they're superstars, you know? So, therefore, they're getting all kinds of action. As opposed to some real good-looking people who, number one, don't even realize that they look good, and number two, they couldn't get laid in the French whorehouse. I've never been able to figure that out. Because every now and then you'll see somebody and you'll think, boy, they could have anybody in the world they wanted, you know? Anything.
Right.
Anything that moves. Even things that are stationary, like light up lamp poles and trees and fire hydrants. But come to find out that they just don't realize that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no confidence.
Well, here we go. What do we got?
Good.
What?
It's good. Good for us, the rest of us.
Oh, absolutely correct. That is right. I've got your thumb right on that, baby. Now, let's see. The courthouse shooting, 3 dead now and 1 wounded.
Who was
in Atlanta.
is doing fine, hopefully, to get out of the hospital.
Judge, court reporter, and deputy killed. Not the deputy shot the courthouse. He's still alive, but how long that'll remain, we don't know. Maybe if we could take some of the oxygen that they're wasting up there, Reverend Jones and his boyfriend, and shift it up there to Atlanta. Maybe they could live off of that for a while. Very, very sad, the space that these cretins are taking up. 93 say Charles Bronson. He's going to be tough to catch, although Steve Buscemi's moving into a respectable second with 71. Humphrey Bogart, 67. Danny DeVito, 42. Barbara Streisand, 28. Kathy Bates, 15. Jimmy Cagney, 14. Ed Asner, 14. Dick Van Dyke has got 11. I don't think he'd do all that well. Bette Midler, 10. Peter Lorre, 9. Boris Karloff, 9. Wesley Snipes has gotten 7. Betty Davis, 7. Bela Lugosi, 7. Clint Howard, 5. Fred Gwynn, 5. Rhea Perlman, 5. Edward James almost makes me go to the bowl, 4. Gary Busey, 4. Spelled correctly now. Minnie Driver, 2. James Woods has got a pair of zits. Woody Allen, 1. Jet Li has got 1. And what else? Christopher Walken don't have any. William Conrad, none. Richard Keel, Marty Feldman, Gene Wilder, Ed Vigoda, Edward James Olmos, who's on there twice. Donald Sutherland, Jimmy Durante, Lee J. Cobb have got the big. Oh! Because do you think this audience knows who Lee J. Cobb is?
No.
They didn't see The Exorcist?
Yeah, but they don't know him by name.
What was his name? Captain
Morgan.
No, seriously, what was his name in the movie? He had a name.
I don't know,
The
Father
police
Karen.
detective. Answer the question, Father Paranoia.
I forget his name.
Oh. 28 past 11, we got Mo at 2 this afternoon. Christopher Walken will be Mo's guest at 3:15.
You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Right after Mo kisses JP.
Welcome.
It's Friday, you bastards.
It's late at night, you're fast asleep, and a shadowy figure is about to break into your home. But you're protected.
Yes, it's the James Brown Home Security Alarm. The hardest working alarm in the safety business. Designed by the godfather of home protection himself. The James Brown alarm protects you from burglars, vandals, peeping Toms. And if you act now, we'll include at no extra cost the patented James Brown Hot Pants Fire Alarm. So put the Soul Patrol on your keyhole with the James Brown Home Security System. You'll say, I feel good.
On your what hole? It's 11:32 at 560 WQAM. Morgan Freeman, somebody faxes, says his butt ass ugly.
His butt's ugly? Oh, whatever. Yeah.
What?
I mean, he's ugly, but he ain't like,
And Willem Dafoe looks like a gargoyle.
Yeah,
Now, I
does.
certainly go along with that. He does.
Absolutely
Definitely
does.
look like a... Now, here's the facts. Is that restating the obvious, we promoted all day yesterday that Mo was going to have Bruce Willis on at 2:30 because Mo's daughter works for Miramax, and they were plugging the new Bruce Willis movie, and yada, yada, yada. So here's the facts that says, hey, Neil, I don't know if you heard, but the Mo Man had Bruce Willis on the show yesterday. No, I didn't hear that. Said he was sucking his ass pretty good. I guess Jay Fiedler got jealous, so Mo's going to have him on today to kiss his ass. P.S. Dade County blows. Restating the obvious, all of those things we're well aware of, okay? Drew Fiedler is going to be on with Mo this afternoon, who's going to Mo's favorite football team, the Jets. I guess Mo can finally admit that now that he's not going to be doing the Dolphins no Mo. And the Mad Dog. Yeah. Steve says, I live in one of your favorite cities, Nashville, Tennessee. Have a great weekend. And you too, Steve, if it's possible living in Nashville. You're going to love Nashville. Oh, man. Talk about inbred, man. It is breast by test.
It's in there.
I got a good column here by our good friend, my good friend. You don't like Capitol Hill Blue, but I do a lot. It's a good website. I always say that. I don't know how that started, but
I don't know either.
Doug Thompson, The Rant. He's the publisher and founder of Capitol Hill Blue, which is a fine website. They don't like Democrats. They don't like Republicans. They just basically don't like crooks.
Right.
And they don't care whose ass they gore. He writes, Prude's Paradise. Hallelujah. Children in 61,000 elementary schools around the U.S. saw the new We Are Family animated video cartoon Thursday, and the world as we know it did not come to an end. No reports surfaced of 6- and 7-year-olds coming home Thursday night and telling their parents they were gay or denouncing heterosexual lifestyles, as predicted by James Dobson, head of the homophobic Focus on the Family Foundation. In fact, the animated music video that included SpongeBob and many cartoon characters familiar to kids did not reference sexuality at all, even though Dobson and another homophobic right-wing nutcase group, the American Family Foundation, claimed it would in thousands of spam emails to journalistic organizations around the world. When reporters who actually had watched the video asked the American Family Foundation about their unfounded claims, the group backtracked and issued a news statement. While the video itself does not overtly promote homosexuality, it serves as a hook to entice children and teachers to use the website and the materials there, such as a teacher lesson plan, which explicitly promote the homosexual lifestyle. Horschmidt. I watched the video produced by the We Are Family Foundation in partnership with the Anti-Defamation League and a dozen or so other organizations. It was a cute little music video using the old disco song We Are Family to say people should learn to get along and live together. Nothing more, nothing less. But the uproar is all too typical of the fear-mongering ignoramuses who control our government and the political agenda in this country and rely on the ignorant louts who follow them. Earlier this year, Education Secretary Margaret Spellings, another tight-ass, puritanical, Bible-thumping appointee from homophobic President George W. Bush, forced the public broadcasting service to yank an episode of its animated series, Postcards from Buster, because the lead character, Buster the Rabbit, visited a same-sex couple in Vermont. Many parents would not want their young children exposed to the lifestyles portrayed in this episode, Spellings wrote in a letter to the president of PBS. The network, which depends on government funding to survive, caved in and pulled the episode, of course. Such censorship and repression is business as usual for the Bush administration's jackbooted approach to anything it deems immoral, illegal, or fattening. The Republican Party that controls the White House and Congress is overrun with homophobes, racists, bigots, and prudes, so sexually repressed they couldn't get laid in a whorehouse if somebody else paid in advance, which is probably because most whores wouldn't screw such lowlifes for any amount of money. The repression reminds me of a line from George Carlin. Ever notice that a woman who's opposed to abortion is somebody you wouldn't want to F anyway? These people are a blight that threatens any chance of an enlightened society, scabs of repression that must be picked if we are to have any chance for survival and progress. In a perfect right-wing world, gays would be committed to mental institutions, blacks would be sent back to Africa, books and movies would be subject to review and censorship before release, and every woman would be a virgin before marriage, and that marriage, of course, could only be to a man. They fantasize about conspiracies from all directions, the media, Hollywood, teachers, even within their own ranks. Everyone they feel is out to get them. Such paranoia is often found among control freaks and repressive types who feel they must force everyone else to fall into lockstep compliance with their own narrow views. It's not all that different from repression found in fundamentalist Islamic societies, communism, or Nazi Germany. The conservative fruitcakes are correct about one thing. There is a massive threat to the future of this country. It's a spreading disease that threatens to devour everything that was once good about this nation, a rotting cancer that eats at the flesh of the body politic, and may well turn America into a putrid, decaying corpse of a country. The threat is real, the threat is serious, and the threat comes from themselves, the treasonous right-wing demagogues who've taken over our government. But he's good, you know?
Damn good. Even though I hate
Dang good. Couldn't get laid in a French whorehouse if somebody else paid in advance. Kind of like Robert Grieper. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, here's a good one, and just recently passed to the other side. He's up there with Johnny. Here's Rodney. Rodney Dangerfield.
Aye.
Bug-eyed Rodney. Boy, they don't come too much uglier than Rodney. Carol O'Connor.
Okay.
Huh?
I guess. When was he ever not ugly?
Yeah, okay, Carol O'Connor. Edith Bunker, I think she's got a name.
Jean Stapleton.
What is her name?
Jean Stapleton.
Jean Stapleton, right. I wouldn't have thought of that for some reason.
No, I don't think
my brain is a little
just, nondescript.
Shattered. My brain is shattered. No, she's not nondescript. Jean Stapleton's a great actress.
But she's not ugly.
Oh, the guy who played Norton on The Honeymoon is Art Carney. But this guy's all over the place. Just a little, got some good suggestions here. Your favorite actor or actress, and then it says Bush. Yeah. Well, he's an actor, all right. Either one. Bad actor, but not for the poll. The Wiccans. I know you're a big Wiccan fan.
You know it.
Bad news.
Uh-oh.
The Wiccans can't have a sales tax exemption in Florida because, unlike other religious groups, they don't have a permanent meeting place an appeals court has ruled. The Wiccan Religious Co-op of Florida sued the Florida Department of Revenue on Halloween 2000, on Halloween no less, I guess that's appropriate, arguing that it was wrongly denied a tax exemption. The Orlando-based Wiccan group wanted an exemption to sell religious items and publications without having to charge sales tax like other churches. It was originally denied by the Department of Revenue because it didn't have a physical place of worship, one of the qualifications for the exemption. A 3-judge panel of the First District Court of Appeals upheld a ruling this week in favor of the state. In a twist, the appeals panel ruled the Wiccans can't legally pursue the case because it's a religious group and would benefit from a tax exemption. The ruling raises questions for other religious groups, said Judge Robert T. Benton II, who dissented in part. Does this mean a synagogue cannot question the legality of using public money for a creche in the courthouse if a Star of David is installed, he wrote?
Yeah, you see?
The majority opinion discriminates against organizations because they're religious. This is not in keeping with our traditions, they said. A Revenue Department spokesman said the agency was pleased the court resolved the case. Attorney Heather Moorcroft said the group is considering whether to ask the appeals court to reconsider or appeal to the Florida Supreme Court. Wiccans follow an earth-based belief system or religion, according to the Wiccan websites. They generally consider themselves to be witches. The co-op had about 250 members statewide in 2000. And every time we do one of those religious polls, we got a bunch of Wiccans out there in this audience. How do you like that right now? I don't know which one we like the best, but they're out there.
That one.
We like that one the best?
And
I
that one
think
over
Tabitha from Passions, we like her the best. And yes, what's his name? He was the father. What is his name?
What's his name?
Whatever his name.
The chimp?
No, that's Precious. 20 till noon. You better get with your Passions trivia, man, because you sure know no crap.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on
Shooting Crane. Got it?
Give you cash, but we're going to give you a dream vacation. Imagine.
Hot beaches. Hot date. It's the vacation of your dreams.
Just be the 10th caller when you hear this sound. And we'll send a hypnotist to your house to hypnotize you into thinking you went on a really great vacation. It'll be just like being there. You'll enjoy all the sensations of being on your dream vacation, all through the amazing powers of hypnosis.
You are getting very sleepy.
We'll even do it in your own backyard so you can get a little sun while you're at it.
Remember, if you think you're really going somewhere,
you're dreaming.
This station accepts no responsibility for any after effects of hypnosis, such as believing yourself to be a chicken and clucking every time you hear a bell ring. In the event that you do end up believing you're a chicken, this station is entitled to all eggs you produce as said chicken.
Dream on.
Get it? Dream on. Keep listening for your chance to win.
16 till noon at QAM. Under the best-case scenario, slot machines in Broward County would likely raise about $300 million for public schools across the state. The legislature's chief economist told the House committee yesterday. See, and of course, if they would have passed it, then that $500 million they were talking about, just do the math, it comes right out to that, under the best case. But that number could fluctuate wildly depending on how high a tax legislators slap on the machines, how many slots are allowed in each of Broward's 4 pari-mutuels, when slots can operate, how many bettors will flock to them, and what type of machines are allowed. The $300 million estimate, about half of what had been anticipated if slots were approved by both Dade and Broward, is based on a 50% tax on 1,700 machines at Gulfstream Park, Hollywood Greyhound, Pompano Harness, and Dania Highlight. Pompano, however, has already suggested installing up to 3,000 machines. Sounds good to me.
All right.
Including about 5 or 6 for me. Amy Baker from the economic arm of the legislature told members of the House Business Regulation Committee that while it might sound attractive to put high taxes on the machines, there comes a point of diminishing returns. Go over 50%, she warned, and some of the venues could find themselves in bankruptcy or just deciding not to participate, to lay out. And despite all the campaigning that led up to votes last November and last Tuesday, Governor Jeb Bush and some House leaders only started suggesting Wednesday, only the day after it passed, is another way to try to subvert the will of the electorate, that the state may want to redefine slots as Class 2 machines, those ersatz Mickey Mouse machines currently used in travel casinos, video lottery terminals with that bingo thing, which of course are playing bingo, not real slot machines. You can't suddenly call an alligator a lizard, said Jim Horn, former state education commissioner who's been the chief spokesman for the pro-slots campaign. Our side was always very clear on what it means. Bush twice this week has said he doesn't think anything in the constitutional amendment passed by voters last November prohibits the state from limiting Florida slots to only the lower classification of machine. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen, he said yesterday. My position is that here's the best. Here comes the best part from your fat-ass governor. I'm going to underline this. I'm going to frame it. I'm going to staple it to my ass. My position is that I'm against gambling in all forms, but I'm going to let the legislative process work.
Yeah, right.
Now, this nasty, rotten, fat-ass son of a bitch, he's against gambling in all forms. This is the lottery head. This is the Catholic who I'm sure is very much in favor of church bingo, the born-again Catholic. And all of a sudden he's against gambling in all forms, meaning we got to shut down all the tracks, all the pari-mutuels, the Seminoles, of course. We got to, how about another war against the Indians? What do you say?
Oh!
Huh? Take away their bows and arrows.
Well, they never did
so we can all be safe. What a pile of crap. Speculation is growing that Bush, who has stonewalled Florida's Indian tribes in their attempt to establish a gaming compact with the state, is hoping to stave off full-fledged casinos on the state Seminoles and Miccosukee reservations by limiting what the Indians can offer. But Assistant Attorney General John Glogow told a House committee earlier this year that a slot machine is defined as a Class 3 machine, a real machine like the ones in Vegas and the ones in Atlantic City and the ones at Woodbine and the ones at Fort Erie and the ones here and there. He suggested that state approval of the constitutional amendment that allowed for Tuesday slot referendums gives the green light for Indian casinos to seek Las Vegas-style slot machines. Either Glogow or Attorney General Charlie Crist is expected to appear before the House Business Regulation Committee next week to answer questions about classifications. Oh, brother. Just unbelievable. And the worst part of it is that nobody gives a flying crap, okay? That's why Florida's in the condition that it's in right now, at least South Florida. That's why people keep schlepping to Orlando there to see Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and the same swill they've been peddling for years up there. God. You can't complain about the tourists in South Florida because other than the French Canadians, the frogs, who are coming back because that Canadian dollar, and it's not so much the Canadian dollar is strong, the American dollar has dropped. And by the way, thanks for those low gas prices, Mr. President. Thank you. The euro is almost $1.35. I'm looking at it right now on Report on Business on my cable TV. $1.35. Who ever heard of such Schmidt? Holy rat, fat man. And what about the Canadian dollar? It was like 83 cents yesterday. Boy, that's bad for me. That is so bad. You have any idea how bad?
No.
Real bad.
Oh.
How come they're not? Look at the pound is almost $2. $1.93. The English. Oh, 83.06. The Canadian dollar. I'm going to shoot myself. Holy crap, Mr. Bush, Mr. Presidente. And if those South Koreans or somebody else decides to start dumping American dollars again, the party's over. The game is over, man. We're done. When you're living on the rest of the world's money, when you're living in this phony baloney debt, I'm not going to go into it. Because, you know, one thing about the right-wingers, there is no dealing with it. It's like talking to a brick. Here's a fax from Rob, who says, long-time listener, recent transplant to Philadelphia from Tampa, originally from Dade County. Thank God I left in 81, moved to Broward. How about Danny Trejo? Who is that?
I've never heard of it.
Trejo. Danny Trejo?
Can we even say that anymore?
Who is that?
I don't know. Josh is Googling it.
Are you Googling it? Trejo, Danny Trejo. Well, thanks, Bob, from Philadelphia. Look at that. He lives on Allegheny Avenue in Philadelphia. I'm not giving his address or his last name, so... Thanks, Rob. Mark says Alan Arkin is talented as hell and ugly as F. Okay. And desperately belongs on the poll. Well, you're right about that. Also, desperately needs to go to lunch. Oh, no.
Go to lunch, George. Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?
In conclusion, he said, wait a minute. He says, regarding this week's election, I encountered numerous people who voted against the slots for the sole reason that it would be good for South Florida. They wanted to screw South Florida, even though they live here and will never leave. Nice, but typical. Isn't that nice? It would be good for South Florida, and they're just going to stick it to them. In conclusion, I hope the brand-new New York Jet Jay Fiedler comes into Pro Player Stadium with Chad Pennington hurt and throws for 600 yards and 8 touchdowns. I hate the Jets, but now I have a great reason to hope they go 2-14. Suffering through another Friday morning in the city of the dead, Mark. Well, good luck to you, Mark. You'll need it. How do you like that? People who voted against it because it would be good for the community, and so therefore, like that. These are nasty, rotten, filthy, disgusting people. There's absolutely nothing wrong with South Florida that a good people transplant wouldn't solve. How many years have I been telling you that?
About 30, man.
A people transplant, that's what we need. Bus them in, ship them in, fly them in. I was going to say swim them in, but we've already had enough of that. The Senate passed legislation. I better take some calls, huh? Because they're going to start getting surly.
Right.
I got a whole pile here, man. I got piles. Big fat ones. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, this is Tony from Sunnyvale.
Yep.
I got 3 for Neil.
You got 3 for me?
I got a triple for you.
Okay, what do you got?
I got Ernest Borgnine.
Oh, good one.
Rosie O'Donnell.
She's not an actress. And?
And Don Knotts.
2 good ones. Thanks a lot, Pally. Don Knotts. Man, man.
Rosie's been in many movies.
Okay, so like I said, there's 3 for you. I just don't want to overwork Josh Cordes there because the work is not in his vocabulary. Other than when he's doing the Marlin games, because he gets paid the big bucks for that. We're not paying him enough to, get him off his ass. So if we ever suggested, screening the calls again or something like that, he would, that'd be
We're not paying him enough to get him off.
That's what Duff said. So what do we got so far? Your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being ugly. Boy, isn't it something, all these names, Ernest Borgnine, there's so many, not just ugly people, but really, really ugly. By the way, Boca Brian, if you're ever going to send me any more of those William Bendix, The Life of Riley ones, how about 3-4 years later, when Junior's more than 13 years old? What? Well, no, I mean, he sends me stuff. I just, like the guy that called yesterday about, not Jay North, Luke Halpin.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he was a 15 playing a 12-year-old, but you give it over to, what's his name, Michael Jackson or the Weather Fairy, Miss Kamal. Charles Bronson, 99. Steve Buscemi, 77. He's going to give Chuck a little run for his money, I think. Humphrey Bogart, 71. Danny DeVito, 48. Barbara Streisand, 28. Kathy Bates, 16. She's great, though. James Cagney, 14. Ed Asner, 14. Dick Van Dyke, Scott 11. And Bette Midler, 10. And also a double-digit Boris Karloff, 10. Everybody else has got a single digit. A digit, by the way, is a finger. Wasn't that a great line by ABC News the other day?
Thank you.
Digital examination. Digital, that means with your finger. Oh, brother, that was just...
Rectum.
Wow. ABC News. So I watched Bob Schieffer last night, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah,
we discussed that before the show this morning, George, and yours truly, and I'm so sorry. Now we appreciate just how dependable it was to have Danny Boy there every night, Dan Rather. I'd rather have Dan Rather, I'll tell you. I don't care what anybody says. And, of course, the right-wingers, they blew him off the air. They shoved him out. It was really a tempest in a teapot, and the essence of the story, like Doug Thompson wrote yesterday, was absolutely correct. But don't confuse the public or the mainstream media with the facts. You didn't check it thoroughly, and Dan stood behind it. He's got to take the fall. And, of course, there have been a lot of people trying to shove his ass out of there for a long time. But when Bob Schieffer at the end of the newscast went through that song and a dance about, Dan Rather was legendary and Walter Cronkite and you know me because I've been around for years. Yeah, you've been around for years, you old troll. Even at Publix you won't find bags bigger than the ones under his eyes. Did you notice that?
Oh, geez.
My God. At least John Roberts looks like a news guy who's like contemporary, like living in the same century. Bob Schieffer looks like an old troll. If you look up old troll in the dictionary, next to that you'll find my picture and Bob Schieffer.
Yeah, but his ears sure were big.
Yeah, they sure were.
Still are.
Good God. He is just unacceptable. And he fumbled his way through the reading the news and just, weak. I can't wait to see the ratings on CBS Evening News as long as they keep his ass on there. You won't be able to, it's kind of like ours in this last train. You can't complain about him because we don't have any. I think that Doug Thompson, the one I read before, the rant from today, about the decaying giant and everything. It's kind of like QAM. You see, we're consistent with America, Used to be great, now we're kind of like a dying, decaying, crumbling giant. Thanks, Greg. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
This is polls for women, too, right?
Sure.
How about Sarika Jessica Parker?
Oh, she is nasty.
And Penelope Cruz.
Okay. Yeah, but Tom likes her.
All right, that's it.
Thanks.
I'm out.
Penelope Cruz and Sarika Jessica Parker. Two very fine choices. Yeah. Although who's going to like her, though? Somebody might, although it says your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being ugly. Somebody will actually like her. I can't imagine why, but,
I guess her mom.
No, I doubt it. She's got a face that even a mom could hate. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
This town needs an enema.
Right, a blueberry one. Oh, that's it. Okay, well, there's a bulletin for you. South Florida needs a boysenberry enema. That's a bulletin. Well, maybe we can get, once Terry Schiavo, once they finally decide that, we'll know where to stick the tube.
Rectum.
Okay? Because you got to have a tube if you're going to have a good enema. WQAM, hello.
Hello, QAM.
Yes, sir.
How about Arnold?
Arnold is a good one, man. He is grotesque, Arnold. He is a character of himself, Arnold. Gruesome. And he's against steroids. Don't forget about that.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
This is Dick Cheney. I like to relax by having Mary Magdalene massage my balls while listening to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
I've won the vote. Kate Davis is done. The women voters didn't care that I pinched all their buns. The people of California, they like me a lot.
How about Sly Stallone?
'Cause just like them, I've had a few orgies and smoked lots of pot.
All right.
I am the governor. It's true. Too bad that I do not have a clue. Everybody sing with Arnold. I am the governor. everybody. I am the governor. You like me in the movies. That's why I'm the governor of California.
Yeah, there you go. Neither can we. 1201 at 560 WQM. Happy Friday to you all. We got Mo Howard David and his boyfriend Jay Fiedler now a New York Jet at 2 o'clock. Both of them can say the same thing now. Their favorite team is the Jets. Got Mad Dog at 4.
All right.
And then he's broadcasting from Publix at 9050 Biscayne Boulevard, Miami Shores. Go in there and say, boy, we sure are sorry that the Dolphins screwed you over. Although the good part of it for him is he's still going to get paid. What a scam, man. I love those deals when you get paid for doing nothing. Geldy at 7, who's getting paid for not doing much, and Eddie K at 10 o'clock tonight. That's our schedule. We don't have basketball because guess what? Well, we don't want to rub it in, do we?
No.
Didn't they lose, Josh?
They did.
They lost. Well, Tom faxes and says, the reason that all the green-toothed Cubans voted against the slots is because it did not include Hialeah Racetrack. I was talking about that with the Humper this morning, Tom. Also, there was nothing else on the ballot in 2 years. I hope they also include Hialeah on the ballot and have the vote on the day with other stuff on the ballot, even if it's for dog catcher. There you go. And, of course, if it's for dog catcher and we have a lot of our Alvarez's and Martinez's and Rodriguez and Gonzalez's on there, then some people will come out and vote, but probably the wrong ones. But anyway, that's a good point. I don't understand why they didn't. That would have evened out 4 pari-mutuel facilities in each county.
Right. What's wrong with Hialeah?
Well, the only problem is Hialeah is not operating now, and I guess they would have to start it all up all over again, and there is no horse racing there. So I don't know. But it's really unfortunate because I think that would have made a big difference. I think if Brunetti wouldn't have destroyed it and they could have kept that thing going a little bit longer, that could have brought that place back to life.
Right. Who needs the horses if you got the slots?
Well, no, but you can't. Well, I don't know. I guess they could have simulcasting there.
Right.
Of course, that food was sure good there that last year or two. Man, you talk about the green weenie. Uh-oh. Here's a fax from somebody with very bad... Oh, Scott. Scott says, you got to be an old fart to remember this guy, but Richard Boone was butt ugly. Well, I'm an old fart, and I remember Richard Boone. He was huh?
Had a cauliflower nose.
Yeah. He was always in them westerns, Richard Boone. He was... Well, who did he play? Oh, by the way, did you look up that other thing?
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
It's not on there?
I didn't get anything. I Googled it.
Well, Google Richard Boone, because I want to know the name of the show he was on, the big TV show, Richard Boone.
Paladin?
Was he Paladin?
Was he?
You think? I don't know.
Have Gun Will Travel, like the fax says?
That's probably... Oh, I see. But maybe Neil can find the theme to Have Gun Will Travel. Well, if I would have finished the, reading it, but I didn't. That made it more exciting. Let's see if I got it. I just probably one on here with a bunch of westerns, wouldn't you think? Let's see. Sitcoms, cartoons, primetime drama. I don't want to waste a lot of time with this, but it sure kills some good time. The Untouchable 77 Sunset Strip, Green Hornet, Secret Agent Man. We all like Johnny Rivers a lot. What am I looking for?
Have Gun.
Have Gun Will Travel. Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. Screw them. Bunch of maricones. Ted Mack's Original Amateur Hour. Geldy's going to be on that this weekend, and also Josh says Roxy Bernstein's going to be on. Now, did you hear Roxy Bernstein? Oh, that's right, we didn't have the game on. Did they ever start playing that game or not?
No, but he did the rain delay.
How was he?
He's fine,
Well, that doesn't sound like a really...
I haven't really heard much of him, honestly. I've only caught... every inning that I've caught, Dave has been calling the game, so...
Oh, no wonder you sound so down. Let's see. Action, adventure...
Paladin and Medic, Boca Brian said.
What, beg your pardon? Oh, Medic. He was on Medic. You know who else was on Medic? William Shatner. That was his first TV show, Medic. Oh, am I old or what, huh?
Yes.
Oh, well. World of Commander McBragg. We don't have Gun Will Travel. I'm very sorry. I thought we did have it. I thought I'd been playing it when we did all these themes. But I'm not going to waste no more time. But he definitely qualifies. He was a really ugly guy. He was on a lot of shows. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. We're looking for ugly actors and actresses. That's somebody you might actually like. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jack Palance.
Oh, God.
George
Ugly
C.
isn't a word for it. Huh?
George C. Scott.
Another one, right.
Carl Malden.
Rah! So many ugly actors in so little time. Thanks,
hey, listen, all right.
Go ahead. Oh, and listen, what? I tried to let him finish, but he was just happy not to. Oh. What did he say? Carl Malden.
Right. George
My
C.
God.
Scott.
George C. Scott, very humongously ugly. But many people tell you he's the greatest actor of all time. I don't agree with that, but he's a good actor.
He did all right.
He was good in The Hospital.
Patton.
Taps.
Firestarter.
Right. He's good. Very bad, though, in Exorcist 3. Wasn't that... Which one of those was he in?
It was one of those, right.
One of those horrible remakes that never should have been remade. I mean, Exorcist 2 was bad enough. With Richard Burton, I believe, was Exorcist 2. And then I think George C. Scott. Oh, God. See, when you get to the end of the line and you can't get any other real scripts, then you wind up in crap like that. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. Here's a story that I absolutely love. It fits right in with my feeling about the state of Florida. Florida's legislature is flush with good ideas. Senator Al Lawson's idea involves a 2-cent per roll tax on toilet paper to pay for wastewater treatment to help small towns upgrade their sewer systems. And when you're in a state that's as full of it as Florida, man, they ought to be raising a Schmidt-load of cash, wouldn't you think?
You'd think.
The Democratic lawmakers' pay-as-you-go bill, that's kind of cute, has been the source of many jokes, bathroom humor you might say, but he says the issue is a serious one. It's a serious tissue, especially in some of the fast-growing panhandle coastal counties in his district. They're experiencing a tremendous boom in growth, and they're not able to accommodate the growth. He's a Richard boom. We've got 17 million people in the state, and all of them can contribute to protecting our underground water supply, unless, of course, they don't do that thing. Unless, of course, they put it in a box there by the side of the turlet and just keep using it over and over again, like the abuelas. In a Republican-dominated legislature that doesn't like new taxes, the idea is likely to pretty quickly end up in the tank. Senate President Tom Lee, Republican of Brandon, said he didn't think it would get too far, but didn't rule it out. We're getting to the bottom of it real soon, Lee said. The House is skeptical as well. We're not wild about tax increases, said House Speaker Alan Bentz of Panama City, but we'll certainly let it go through the system. If it were to pass, the extra 2 pennies would start being charged in October. Lawson said it could generate $50 million a year. It would also need approval from Governor Jeb Bush. He said that if toilet paper is taxed, people might use less of it. Oh, no! That's not necessarily a good thing, noted the fat-ass governor. If toilet paper is taxed, people might use less of it. Fewer than 8 squares. Remember that story?
Yeah.
8 squares? You couldn't even begin. What about consumers, it says? Wouldn't they be squeezed by a tax on the Charmin? No, says Lawson. 2 cents is not going to hurt families at all. This is one thing people don't mind paying for. I mean, seriously, how many rolls of toilet paper even could a big family use a month, huh? I mean...
About 30, man.
Not even that. Like 10?
Yeah, I don't
10
know.
rolls a month? What do you say?
I don't care, sure.
So it's like 20 cents a month, for crying out loud, for Jesus Christ and Mary's sake. Yeah, how do you like so Mel Gibson's releasing a different version of The Passion of the Christ, because now we can get different hundreds of millions of dollars in there, because Jesus is probably the best moneymaker in history. Wouldn't you think?
This one ends differently.
Oh, a different ending, huh?
Yeah, he lives at the end.
He jumps right off that cross and comes running back at you. Says, here you go, all you bastard Jew bastards and Romans and whatever. 5670560, pound 560. That Trish Vanderveer, that was the end of it for me with George C. Scott. Once he married her, which she couldn't act her way out of a paper sack, and he kept promoting her, and, that was the end. Who's your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being butt ugly, man, real ugly? Charles Bronson, we still can't touch him, man. He's been there right from the beginning, right from the get-go.
You son of a bitch.
101. Oh, and speaking of people in the same genre, how about Fifth Day, by the way, for the jury? The jury is still out. How about Robert Blake?
Okay.
He always, even as a kid, he was ugly.
Right.
I'm checking Court TV. I don't see nothing on there. But the fifth day of deliberation today for the jury. Charles Bronson, 101. Steve Buscemi, 78. Humphrey Bogart, 74. Danny DeVito, 53. Barbara Streisand, 29. You know, one thing about short actors and actresses, very seldom do you find like a real short, other than like, what's his name? Willie Warlock.
Okay.
He's not that short. Kathy Bates, 16. James Cagney, 14. Ed Asner, 14. Dix Van Dyke, 12. Bette Midler's got 10. Boris Karloff, 10. Everybody else even single digit, although Morgan Freeman is bubbling under. I don't think he's an ugly guy.
Me neither, but...
As dark folks go, Morgan Freeman, I mean, he's no Denzel Washington, who fancies himself as a sex pot, you know. I mean, if you're going to talk about a black actor who's a sex pot, I mean, if you tell me Malcolm, Shamar Moore, I'll say, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But Denzel Washington thinks he's a hot-looking guy? I mean, Sidney Poitier, that was a very dark black guy. He was a good-looking guy, right? Even Josh would agree with that.
Who?
Hey, Josh.
Yeah?
Guess who's coming to lunch?
Neil Rogers, exclusively on 560 QAM.
Rogers. God.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rambo 4 and 5. How are you? John, Rambo's still alive. I want to make movies 4 and
life. My life ain't going great, planet Hollywood's broke. Unfortunately, I speak like I had a stroke. First blood came in 82. That's when I hurt my penis and it never ever grew. Rambo 2 was in 85 late. Rambo 3 was in 88. Shooting and looting and tooting my gun. I did not make this movie with my son. His name is Sage. He was in Rocky 5 and Daylight, the tunnel movie. A little bit of cash is what I need. I gotta get a loan from Apollo Creed. I gotta have another hit movie or a Broadway show like Dennehy. I guess nobody ever saw Copland. It was stupid. I guess I understand. My whole life is about to cave in. All I got left is Jennifer Flavin. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to make Rambo 4 and 5. Check it out, so call me up. I really need a script. I can do dialogue or keep it zipped. I like comedy, action, adventure, and drama. The only thing I will not do is have sex with a llama. So give me a break, for goodness sake. I used to be on Oprah, now I can't get on Ricky Lake. Right now I got a one-man show in Poughkeepsie. Basically, I'm an unemployed gypsy. A little bit of cash is what I need. I gotta get a loan from Apollo Creed. I gotta have another hit movie or a Broadway show like Dennehy. I guess nobody ever saw Copland. It was stupid, so I understand. My whole life's about to cave in. All I got left is Jennifer Flavin. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I need to make Rambo 4 and 5. How are you? Absolutely.
12:17 at 560 WQAM. Happy Friday to you. March 11. Boy, I tell you, it's the year's marching on, you know it? Before you know it, that next trend coming out, we're going to be all Scandinavian. Probably finished. Bob in Coral Springs says she put the UGG in the Ugly. Maud's Beatrice Arthur. B. Arthur, she is nasty.
She be ugly.
P.S. Years ago while I lived in L.A., I ran into Gary Busey in a gas station. Unfortunately, his well-publicized mugshot actually made him look good. He is also unbelievably ugly. Gary Busey. So we got B. Arthur? Good.
We got it. Right here.
5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless lines. Senate passes new bankruptcy legislation. The Senate yesterday passed legislation that will make it harder for Americans to rid themselves of debt by filing for bankruptcy. The House is expected to pass the measure next month, delivering to El Presidente a second victory this year on pro-business legislation he had sought. The vote was 74-25 to approve the most thorough overhaul of bankruptcy laws in a quarter of a century. The short answer is fairness, declared Senator Orrin Snatch of Utah. Those who can pay their bills should pay their bills. That's the American effing way, he said. Congressional industry backers of the legislation have been pushing it for 8 years, but it repeatedly got stalled. This year, with Republican majorities increased in both the House and Senate, the bill's fortunes reversed. The Senate insisted on handing Wall Street investment firms a bonus, defeating a Democratic amendment that would have restricted their ability to work for companies both before and after those companies filed for bankruptcy. Senators acted against the advice of the SEC Chairman William Donaldson, who said such a restriction was needed to build up investor confidence shaken by Enron, WorldCom, and other corporate scandals. For 2 straight days, Democratic opponents tried to soften the bill's impact on single parents and other groups and to restrict credit industry practices that lawmakers said especially hurt the poor. Critics said the bill would remove a safety net for those who've lost their jobs or face big medical bills. Russ Feingold of Wisconsin said it'll have a real impact on real people all over this country. And, of course, Bush and those right-wingers don't care about the real people, only about their filthy, fat, rich friends. So there you go. Again. 5670560, and you know the rest. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you? How about Victor Mature?
No. He wasn't ugly. In fact, there are those people who would tell you he was a good-looking guy. In fact, probably Josh would say that.
I'll give you $1 for everyone in the audience you can find that knows who that is.
Oh, come on. Josh knows who that is.
Hey, that's a good-looking guy.
Right. That's what he said. Victor Mature. No, I didn't think he was ugly. But anyway, WQAM maybe wasn't his type. QAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good, Pally. What do you got?
Listen, I got a couple for your poll, and I wanted to tell you, I think Richard Boone, wasn't he in Paladin?
That's correct.
Okay, and I got a pair. Ed Begley, Sr. and Jr.
Oh, yes. Runs in the family. You got it. Thank you.
You got that right, bud.
Yeah, now, did we put Donald Sutherland on there? We put Kiefer Sutherland?
I don't know.
Because, unfortunately for him, he looks a lot like Daddy. Although, luckily for him, Daddy was a famous actor, so he's an actor, too, kind of, sort of. What was that movie he was in that I saw? WQAM, hello.
Neil,
Yes, sir.
never imagined that you wore chains and tattoos.
Yeah.
And
That's
the last guy stole my thunder with Jack Palance.
Okay, thank you. Well, see, he was searching for some other material because the other guy had his name, Jack Palance. Chains and tattoos. What? Does anybody have any idea what that means?
No.
Is there some significance there? Some symbolism I'm missing? Is there some, I don't know. WQAM, hello.
You're finished in this town.
Yeah, that's what the guy told me 29 years ago at KAC. You'll never make it a year, man. You'll never last it through the month. Guess what, pal? Long before I'm done on the air in this town, you're going to be ass up, or is it ass down in the ground with your feet straight up in the air? Oh, you're probably used to that. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Victor Mature, first of all, Samson Delilah with Hedy Lamar.
Right.
He
wasn't an ugly guy.
No, he was good looking when he was younger.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
In kind of a sickening way.
I second your opinion on Lee J. Cobb. Great actor.
Great, boy, the best.
Ever see 12 Angry Men?
Yes.
Last scene when he's the last holdout for guilty and he cracks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was intense, man.
Yeah.
Also, Danny DeVito.
On the waterfront?
Oh, yeah.
The Exorcist, right.
Also, Danny DeVito was Mr. Martini in Cuckoo's Nest.
Right, that's what I said.
Oh, I think it's Mancini.
Oh, no, you're right. I did say Mancini.
Yeah.
Martini, Mancini, Henry Mancini, whatever.
Hit
all
me,
the same.
Hit me.
When you deal with them short people, they're all the same.
And how can you leave off one of my favorite actors off your poll? Gene Hackman.
Yeah, he's a pretty ugly guy. You're right.
And he's a great actor. He can do everything, comedy, drama.
Even when he was young, he was ugly. Even at birth, I think he looked the same. Thanks a lot, Pally, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Gene Hackman, got it?
We got it.
See, in fact, let's face it, most actors, well, not actresses. See, that's that sexist thing again. If you're going to be an actress, man, you got to put out, and if you're going to put out, they want to be doing some hot-looking babe.
Absolutely. What's wrong with that?
But with guys, well, I mean, some of these guys put out, too. There's no question about that. That's what Merv Griffin said. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Oh, you got to admit, Chris Atkins was a great actor. Yes, sir.
Neil.
Yes, I am.
Neil, I got two for you.
Okay. Numero uno.
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin is she in movies? Yeah, she's been in a couple movies.
Sure.
She is ugly.
Shelley
Very
Duvall.
funny.
Oh my God.
Who?
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall.
I don't know who that is.
Shelley
Right.
Duvall, The
Oliver,
Shining.
the Popeye movie.
Jack.
Oh yeah, right.
Two.
And
Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay, that sounds like three.
There you go.
Okay, thanks. Billy Bob Thornton and all the other ones. Got him?
Got him.
Boy, there must be 1,000 going to be on this list. Keep you busy over the weekend. Keep you off the streets. Solve maybe your crack problem.
Rectum.
This weekend. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
They left off Mr. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly himself, Eli Wallach.
Oh, God, how could we forget? Well, since Godfather 3, we've been trying to forget.
Well, that was on
Yeah.
yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got a couple things for you. First of all, Richard Boone was Paladin. You can get it on DVD right now.
I'm going to go right out and buy it. Not.
That's that. Danny Trejo is a character actor. He's got like tattoos all over his body. He's real gross. He was the rapist in Con Air. He was in Desperado. He plays all these Mexican characters.
Well, that figures.
And last but not least, I went out and bought The Great Escape, and Jack Lemmon does say push the button, Max.
We know that. That's a George problem, He just can't get his life straightened out. Thanks a lot, Pally. Yeah. Well, you finally admitted it, right? After years of being in denial, you finally admitted it. And we love Jack Lemmon.
Yes, we do.
As a matter of fact, we were just talking this morning about...
Get the chalk! Hey! Get the chalk!
Oh. Now, if we had a better bleep in there, we could actually play that, but...
That's a
we don't.
bleep.
No, yeah, right. That's probably the worst bleep of all time. He says the word, and then the bleep comes out like... yeah.
It's an audio illusion.
Sure. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neely. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, Pally.
How's your day?
Very good so
All
far.
right. There's one for the poll.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
You got it? You got that down?
Yes, Bungholio.
Good. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, I got for you Tommy Lee Jones and Walter Matthau.
Very good. Thank you so much. Walter Matthau, boy, he really was. He was definitely one of the unshined boys. Oh, sorry, didn't hang up on that guy. Well, I thought maybe he had some more. 567-0560, #5. Don't forget, Jay Fiedler is on today. It's going to be a love fest. They suck in with the Mo between 2 and 4. I don't know exactly what time he's going to be on there, but miss it if you can.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
You can kiss my rear end.
It's our system, sad but true. It doesn't work like it used to do. Every time the votes come up short, you know it's all gonna land in court. We should have learned the truth the last time around. Someone's always gonna wanna recount. Even before voting day is through, the lawyers all run around and sue. If we pick the guy that we like the best, you know we still gotta pass a legal test. It's not decided by me and you, but by the lawyers who run around and sue. Hey.
Yeah, too bad we don't have more of them on our side. 12:31 at 560 WQM. The movie with Donald Sutherland, with Kiefer Sutherland, was a breakup with Bridget Fonda.
All right.
Do you remember I saw that about a month ago and I talked about it? It was a pretty good movie. Never heard of it?
Never saw it.
Bridget Fonda and Kiefer Sutherland had an all-star cast in this edge-of-your-seat psychological thriller. After blacking out in a violent domestic battle, Jimmy, Fonda, awakens in the hospital to learn that her abusive husband, Frank, has died in a fiery crash and that she's the prime suspect. As the police focus on building their case against Jimmy, she uncovers evidence indicating that Frank may not only still be alive, but getting away with murder, with Penelope Ann Miller and Steven Weber adding memorable performances. You'll be riveted to the growing suspense as Jimmy, in a daring escape from police custody, races toward a final confrontation with justice and revenge.
Oh!
It's good. Pretty good. Breakup.
All right.
Not as good as Shattered, but damn near, with Tom Berenger. 5670560, pound 560. I don't know. Give me a movie I should see this weekend.
Of Mice and Men.
I got it. It's sitting in the room. I can't bring myself to watch it because I know I'm not going to like it.
I know you will.
Based on what?
It's a very simple story about two guys. That's
about
it.
what?
Two guys, two friends.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, what does that mean?
It's a famous story, and it's a good
I know
story.
It's famous.
It's a good
I know
movie.
it's famous.
Well,
I'm sure I read it 100 years ago when I was a child.
Probably not.
Yeah, I think I did.
Well, good story, well told on film.
Okay, I'll watch it. Well, give me another one so I can go out and spend some money and stimulate the Canadian economy, eh?
Blue Velvet.
Nah, okay. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Jack Elam. I can't hold on, but that's a good one. Jack Elam.
Okay, thanks. He can't hold on, that guy, but Jack Elam, Neil. Oh, okay, thank you. Why? He can't hold on. Well, some people, look, at least we're getting some different people here today. They got a lot of ugly people on their mind, okay? Blue Velvet. Even, I know it's I saw it. I saw a little bit of it. It's crap. It's like one step. It's like one step away from, with John Travolta.
What do you call it? It's
You know what I'm talking about. Mayonnaise on the French fry.
No,
yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's one step away from that.
Sure.
Is it really good, Blue Velvet?
Yeah, it's very good. I own it.
They got it. I've seen it there.
Oh, I've seen it like 20 times.
The only problem is every time I think of Blue Velvet, I think of the Polish Prince. She wore blue velvet. You know, Bobby Vinton with the skin just ripped across his head and across the bones now. He is looking like... he could pass easy 140. He could make it into Sunrise Lakes. No ID required. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, for your poll, how about Peter Lorre?
Peter Lorre's on there, as a matter of fact, and he's got a few votes. That's a good choice, but I beat you to it. I put together a bunch of these, and then you added a few. How's he doing, Peter Lorre? Has he got any?
You added Peter Lorre?
We had it on there. Peter Lorre was on from the beginning. What's wrong with you, man? We don't have it on there?
It's on there.
I'm looking for it.
He's got 10. He's doing pretty well. He's got 10. Peter Lorre.
There he is.
Big bug eyes. In fact, that'd be a good question. Who's got bigger bug eyes, me or Peter Lorre or Rodney Dangerfield?
Marty Feldman.
Oh, yeah. I want to play that again 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
Don't let me forget. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil?
Yes, ma'am.
I've got a weird one. You probably won't agree with me, but I think Uma Thurman is really weird looking.
Yeah?
I mean, most men probably think she's gorgeous, but...
Well, do you think she's gorgeous, George?
Not anymore. She's all right.
I just think she's strange.
She looks better than gorgeous George. Yeah, she is bizarre looking.
I would
agree
you have
with
a weird one now.
Uma Thurman. Let's put her on there right away.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
See ya. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
I like the name, though. It's kind of like Ima Sumac and Uma Thurman. Yes, sir.
How are you, Neil? I got 3
Pretty good.
people.
3?
Yeah, Carl Malden.
Yeah, I think we got it.
It's one of George's favorites. Peter Falk.
haven't put him. I don't know. Would you say he's really ugly?
Yeah. And then the guy that played Selena's father in the movie, I think it's Almost.
He's on there.
Edward James Olmos. You're almost ahead of the crowd, but he's already on there. Thank you. So he got one. What's the one he got? Something.
Uma Sumac.
No, it's Uma Thurman. No, it's Thurman Munson, the old bowler. Oh, yeah. Let's start talking about bowling, guys. Carmen Salvino and Thurman Munson and Buddy Bomar. It's championship bowling with Fred Wolf from WXYZ Detroit. Oh, God. I'm telling you, I know they have lobotomies, but maybe we could have like a place where you go to something a little bit less drastic where they can just empty your brain out. Wouldn't it be great of all the useless crap?
A brain enema.
Right. A blueberry brain enema, just to clear it, to make some room for important things that you can't remember.
A brain enema.
I still can't think of the damn movie I'm trying to think of, the one that I hate like poison, the Sued movie. What is it? No,
Citizen Kane. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, there you go.
No similarity whatsoever.
Oh.
It is strange, but not that way.
Oh, I see. I think I saw it and I hated it. But I'll get it again just to make you happy. I'll watch Mice and Men and Blue Velvet. And I'll be listening to Bobby Vinton records in the background. WQAM, hello.
Oh, man, I need a brain enema. Hey, you have Whoopi Goldberg on the list?
Oh, God, it's lunchtime, right in the middle of lunch hour, and you just did it for me, man. That's okay, thanks. Thank you. Whoopi Goldberg, she is grotesque. Oh, wow. That was the end of the new Hollywood Squares once they put that bitch on there. Not that they had any chance anyway with that plastic coast. I don't even know what that guy's name is. Do you have any idea?
Yeah, it'll come to me.
See, Peter Marshall, we know.
Tom Bergeron.
Oh, is that it? That's right, Tom Bergeron. I think his brother played for the Montreal Canadiens or Tampa Bay. WQAM, hello.
Good afternoon, Neil.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
I got one for the poll. How about Steven Seagal?
Steven Seagal is a pretty marginal-looking guy. I wouldn't say he's ugly, though. Would you?
No, but not ugly.
No, he's not ugly. Don't put him on there. Now, don't just put these names on there like Rote, you know what I mean? Just because they spit him out. Kyle Rote. He was an ugly guy. Played for the Giants, Kyle Rote. And his kid played soccer, was a championship soccer player. How come we don't have a little more soccer talk on this?
Rock solid.
Yeah, I bet you the Big O would like to do that. A little more soccer talk on this station. Soccer and hockey and soccer. And a little curling discussion would be good.
All right.
See, just when you think that the Canadians are pretty neat people and they got their act together and they're very, civilized, relatively speaking, and educated and so on, and polite and well-behaved, and then you see this curling crap, and you, kind of scratch your head and and you say to yourself, well, nobody's perfect, you know?
No, the guy that actually shoots the stone, is he called the captain or the shooter?
I have no. You're asking me
Canadian now.
who shoots the stone, and they got the guy with a broom. Hurry, harder!
The sweeper.
It sounds from Kathy Willett's house, you know.
And they got the one slippery shoe and the one not slippery shoe.
Yeah, I don't have any idea. And of course, they got to knock their rocks off that thing.
Right.
A judge ruled yesterday that the State Social Services Agency cannot delay the removal of the feeding tube, keeping brain-damaged Terry Schiavo alive. We're going to take that tube and stick it in Florida's rectum and have a statewide enema, is what we're going to do. Desperately long overdue. The Department of Children and Families had asked for a 60-day delay in the removal of the feeding tube, now scheduled for March 18, which is a week from today. Oh, wouldn't that be exciting? We could have like a live play-by-play. You're not going to be here next Friday.
Correct.
You're on vacation next Friday. Well, maybe you come in special if we have like a live broadcast, a telecast of the removal of the tube. The agency said it wanted time to investigate allegations of abuse and neglect by the woman's husband, Michael Schiavo, but Circuit Judge George W. Greer, who's obviously kin to Rosie Greer, and Mike Greer, who's one of Josh's favorite hockey players, ruled that the agency's attempt to get involved at this point was inappropriate and appears to be brought for the purpose of circumventing the court's final judgment in violation of the separation of powers doctrine. You following that?
I followed it.
Michael Schiavo's attorney had criticized the last-minute attempt by DCF to get involved, saying that it was engineered by our fat-ass governor, Jeb Bush. And I'm telling you, man, he's got his nose in everywhere it doesn't belong. Instead of being up there in Tallahassee taking care of business, he's all over the place.
He's taking care of business.
It was engineered by Governor Jeb Bush, our fat-ass governor, and others in the state government to support the plight of her parents who are trying to keep her alive. Michael Schiavo's gotten a court order to remove the feeding tube, contending that his wife told him she wouldn't want to be kept alive artificially, and all the rest we know. She breathes on her own, but she depends on a tube in her abdomen for food and water. But her parents doubt she had those end-of-life wishes and are desperately trying to block removal of the feeding tube. The judge's ruling was another major blow to Bob and Mary Schindler, thank goodness, who fought their son-in-law in court for nearly 7 years over their daughter's fate. They dispute that she is in a persistent vegetative state, saying she laughs, cries, interacts with them, and tries to speak when they visit at her hospice. She's just and not only that, but a ball of laughs at a party. In fact, wouldn't you think so?
Oh, I'm sure.
If you brought her to a party, man, they'd be on the floor.
Get your fix with Neil Rogers. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Once there was this kid who had a little accident and had to run from school, but when he finally came back, his friends gave him the nickname of Stinky George. He tried to make the John, but you know he couldn't hold it.
12:45 at 560 WQM. Where the hell did this week go, man? It just flew right on by. It must be because our good friend Curtis in sales is doing such a stellar job, aided by his close personal friend and assistant, Berkeley. Yeah, that's why you ought to send her out to Berkeley, although they'd probably kick her ass out right away. Man, she is just a real piece. I saved this story till right now because I wanted to wait till the middle of the show.
Okay.
You want to find out exactly what's going on. All these good, honest, pious people in America, a group of organizations have asked the FCC for a complete freeze of all low-power FM applications. Now, you know these low-power FMs that they came up with to try to give, like, local communities, like, better local coverage,
right,
et cetera, and so on.
College stations, high school stations.
They've asked the FCC for a complete freeze of all low-power FM applications because they've discovered evidence of a massive trafficking scheme involving translator licenses to religious organizations. Included in the group asking for a freeze on granting licenses are Prometheus Radio Project of Philadelphia, United Church of Christ, National Federation of Community Broadcasters, Future of Music Coalition, Free Press, and National Lawyers Guild, among others. In the filing, the group accuses 3 individuals, Clark Parrish, Earl Williamson, and Dana Atkin, of using 2 dummy corporations to apply for over 4,000 translator licenses and then using loopholes to sell the licenses to religious broadcasters who in turn pipe in satellite programming, which is an obvious contradiction of the spirit of localism beyond the granting of LPFM, low-power FM licenses. The 2 companies in question are Radio Assist Ministry and Edgewater Broadcasting. A third company, World Radio Link, was also named in the filing and alleged to be a dummy company used to aggressively market the naked construction permits. The filing details the sale or trade of over 85 licenses for a potential profit of $800,000. In the filing, it's alleged that the applicants have managed to exploit numerous loopholes in the Commission's translator assignment rules. It also alleges that Parrish, Williamson, and Atkins sought to hide their conduct from the Commission, raising the concern that the permits were obtained by fraudulent means, and then asked the FCC to consider revoking the permits. The group state that the allowing of sale of naked construction permits in the broadcast services is contrary to the public interest and corrupts the integrity of the Commission's process. The harm to the public is especially onerous here because these translator licenses come at the expense of future low-power FM stations. The filing then asked the Commission to impose an immediate freeze on all applications related to the translator window. How do you like that? Got a bunch of crooks in bed with the religious. Of course, one good crook always finds another one. Water seeks its own level. And they're piping in, that like D. James Kennedy. I mean, I don't know which ones for sure, but you can just imagine Paul and Jan Crotch, the Reverend Dobson, all of this crap. Because, of course, that's what, the Paul and Jan Crotch thing. Now, what, Trinity Broadcasting? Mm-hmm. It's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Well.
Speaking of Egypt and the pyramids. And what they did was they kept taking all of that money that they'd have those people send in, all those poor old desperate shut-ins, with that number at the bottom of the screen, and they would buy up more and more small TV stations all over not just the country, but all over the world.
Right.
And, of course, everywhere they go, they keep putting the number on there, raising more money, and pretty soon they got like 80 million different towers up all over the world, spreading their sputum, and they're raising millions and millions of dollars so Paul Crotch can share his goods with his boyfriend or whatever. Now, here's the story for the New York Daily News. Don't let me forget, I was going to read this article yesterday, Made in America Wahhabism.
Okay.
from the L.A. Times. I will do it in the 1 to 2 hour. Oh, you're going to be reading stuff again? Oh, good. No, gee, not that. Anything but that. Anyway, see, I don't care if Miguel likes it or not because he don't listen to the show anyway.
Yeah, he does.
And even if he did, he still don't get any diaries. I don't care if he does or not. He's a good guy. I like him, but screw him. Let's see. George's role models, it says, from John in Columbia, South Carolina. Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. There you go.
I guess we could put them on as a unit.
No.
No?
Separate.
All right.
If you want to put them on as a eunuch?
Whatever.
You're going to blow that whole pool up in smoke, man. So Blue Velvet I'm supposed to watch, huh? I don't know. I don't know if I want to go out and spend $15
Well, whatever. I'm not,
there's something about that movie. It seems to me I tried watching it once upon a time, and I just couldn't get into it.
Maybe you don't like Dennis Hopper?
I do like Dennis Hopper a lot, but I did try. I don't like it.
Best performance ever.
Really?
Yeah, but it's freaky.
Okay, I'll watch it.
It's freaky.
I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe we'll see. Give me something to look forward to on Monday. Oh, did you watch Blue Velvet? I'm not telling. 2 cops who killed for the mafia in New York. This is in the Daily News. In what could be the worst scandal in New York Police Department history, 2 retired detectives were charged yesterday with moonlighting as hitmen for the mob, allegedly carrying out one gangland execution, aiding at least 7 others. For the mob. How do you like that? The police in New York.
That's
Federal agents found Luis Eppolito, 56, and Stephen Caracappa, 63. Is he related to Eddie Capicola? Stephen Caracappa, 63, when they grabbed the ex-cops at Piero's Italian restaurant in Las Vegas Wednesday night. Eppolito, a cop-turned-actor who retired in 1990, had bit parts in movies like Goodfellas. A much-decorated detective, he was the subject of the 1992 book Mafia Cop, the story of an honest cop whose family was the mob. Little did they know, I guess, huh? Nearly 20 years after he allegedly began disgracing the badge, he was still playing the tough guy role. Louis was trying to be brave, but Caracappa was really shaken, said law enforcement source. Law enforcement officials were still in disbelief yesterday over the extent of the crimes, including 8 murders, 2 attempted murders, murder conspiracy, drug distribution, and money laundering, and how long they went unsolved. It's just stunning, said Brooklyn U.S. Attorney Rosalind Mauskoff, who announced the indictment at a news conference. These corrupt former detectives betrayed their shields, their colleagues, and citizens they were sworn to protect. Well, we got guys on the payroll, right?
Yeah, they might like
there
a
you
story
go.
like that.
That's what that's saying. Yeah, they would like a story like that. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. We got about 70,000 names on here. So many ugly people in so little time, which makes us feel better about ourselves. We don't have their money. That's the only difference. Even you people who are good-looking, which there are a few of you, you don't have their money, which is unfortunate, but money ain't everything, right? What would you rather have, good looks or a lot of money?
Money?
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm coming from. Let's see. Charles Bronson's got 108. Steve Buscemi's got 93. Of course, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Humphrey Bogart, 79. Danny DeVito, 55. Barbara Streisand, 29. Kathy Bates, 18. Ed Asner, 15. Jimmy Cagney, 14. Boris Karloff, 13. Rodney Dangerfield's popping up the list. He's got a dozen. Bette Midler, 12. Dick Van Dyke, 12. Morgan Freeman, 10. Edward James, almost 10. Betty Davis, 10. And Peter Lorre. Bug-eyed Peter's got 10. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, you got Gene Wilder on there?
He's on there, man.
Oh, sorry, boss. Bye.
Thanks. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Oh, my God, did I punch up line 9? It must have been a mistake. Hello?
Hey, Neil?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, pal?
Pretty good.
Hey, did you hear about the breaking news out of Atlanta?
About the shootings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear it?
What do you mean did I hear it?
Well, I don't know.
We've been on top of it since the since the judge died, man.
I thought I missed that.
How do you like that? Did I hear about the breaking news out of Atlanta?
Right now, the suspect in allegedly driving.
Maybe he's talking about the windbreaker.
I don't have that information. Sheriff, can you talk about...
They're still looking for that guy. You hear that? There were 3 shootings, a bunch of shooting. In fact, a whole bunch of in the court. The guy took the deputy's gun and like that.
Yeah, he's a black male in Atlanta. Ought to be easy to find.
No problem. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Got a couple of names for you.
Okay.
Goes back a while, though. Sidney Greenstreet and Charles Lawton.
Charles Lawton was big, fat, and grotesque. That's a very good one. Sidney
Anna
Greenstreet.
Queen.
Was she really?
That's what I read.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I think I read that too. Thanks a lot, Pally.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Butch up a little bit. A screamer, Charles Lawton. How do you like that? He was very big. You wouldn't think so. Kind of like Raymond Burr. Boy, when Mo found out that Raymond Burr was
gay,
that just floored him. And I guess that was pretty well. It wasn't like a big secret. And on that show on the Biography Channel, when they did of course, after his death, naturally, when you're alive, you certainly don't let these things puke out.
No.
Right?
Right.
After Tom Cruise is dead and buried, then all of that will come out. And John Travolta, some of these people, put on a good show. Just like Tony Perkins, remember that? After he died, then all of a sudden the truth came out. All of these things.
What a shock.
Yeah, that's what Tab Hunter said. Charles Lawton, very great. What was he in? He was in. Was he a Christmas Carol? One of the bad versions of it?
Possibly.
He reminds me of a fatter Lon Chaney. I don't know why that is.
I think it was in Quo Vadis and a couple of those
Quo Vadis.
Roman movies like that.
Quo Vadis. You say Vadis, I say Vadis. You know who else was in Quo Vadis? Peter Ustinov. That was a great movie. Did you actually see Quo Vadis?
Several times. I love those
great movie. Fantastic movie. And the best part is that Charlton Heston wasn't in that one. WQAM, hello.
Put Jack Elam on there.
Okay, well, I think he's on there already, though. But put him on there, or else put him on there. Isn't Jack Elam on there? Or did you forget him?
Who?
Jack Elam.
I must have forgotten him.
What? Jock, did you forget Jack Elam? Somebody mentioned that like an hour ago.
Jackie Lamb?
Not on there. I don't see it. Get him on there.
Who?
Got it? E-L-A-M. Jack Elam. Got it? Can you handle it? Can you do it? I realize we're overworking you, little ass.
Calm down. So who's that?
Jesus Christ. I mentioned that like an hour ago. Thank you for calling in and mentioning again, sir. But he must have had psychic powers, or maybe he looked on the list and saw, how come Jack Elam's not on there?
I must have missed it.
567-0560, pound 560 on it. Now, we're going to get, I take it back. I changed my mind. I just like screaming at Duff. I enjoy it, you know. I just, because he comes around every morning before the show. Hey, good morning. You know, like he's going to do something. You know, we understand that you're a good guy, you have good intentions. You have no power. You're just a paper tiger. So
you are not alone, guys.
Right. So I enjoy just unleashing my hostility toward him, my frustration with the sales department and the sales manager, all the other things, the engineering, things he has nothing to do with and can't do anything about, just so I can vent. You know, he's like a human punching bag.
Would you like to feel relaxed once again?
Keep coming back every day, Duff, because it's a lot of fun. And he's probably like, boy, that Neil is sure in a bad mood. No, actually, I'm not. I'm in a great mood. I'm having a wonderful life. But I just like unleashing at somebody, and since nobody else comes around, since they're all a bunch of wimps and terrified, scared to death of me, at least he shows up all the time, which is more than I can say for Clarence, who's probably coming back from that losing basketball game last night, wouldn't you think?
I reckon.
Clarence Darrow, who can't make up his mind if he wants to be like a make-believe miniature program director or a little tiny sports nerd play-by-play guy.
Oh, it's a basket. It's a basket.
A tisket, a tasket. I think he's got your basket. 12:56 at 560 WQM. Fritz and Franz Beer House in Coral Gables is bringing Bavarian style fun back to South Florida. Why not come by and say Guten Tag, even if you have no idea what it means, and sample some of the most delicious German Bavarian cuisine anywhere outside of northeastern Europe. Schnitzel, bratwurst, which is my absolute favorite. Boy, I'm obsessed. Salads and strudel, all in an atmosphere that would make the Von Trapp family proud. And don't forget the Warsteiner Lederboots. It's enough beer to get your lederhosen in a knot. Fritz and Franz isn't only making the hills come alive with the sound of music, it's turning Coral Gables into a veritable little Frankfurt, because at Fritz and Franz, it's Oktoberfest every single day. You'll find them at 60 Merrick Way, just a block west of Miracle Mile. It's the ideal meeting place for those of you who like to march to the beat of a different tuba. So call 305-7, or maybe goose step to the beat of a different tuba. So call 305-774-1883 for directions and monthly Warsteiner Beer Festival information, and tell them that old Neil sent you by the Bratwurst Queen. That's 305-774-1883 for Fritz and Franz Beer House, not your ordinary oompa place, as Rick Riley would say.
You're listening to Neil Rogers, exclusively on 560 QAM.
This is Arnold. This is not a tumor. It's the 1 to 2 hour.
We need a new pope. One that ain't so sick.
Absolutely.
A pope who says it's wrong to show altar boys your candlestick. We need a new pope. One who thinks it won't hurt, that it can dress, go all the way, with clear pumps and a mini skirt. A pope who hates Mel Gibson, but wants to have Mel's wife. A pope who likes to party and encourage a good time, with jelly shots instead of wine. We need a new pope, one that isn't half dead, one who wears a fedora instead of a birthday hat on his head. We need a new pope, one who's really straight and wants a sharper car to drive when he goes out on a date. A pope that makes things happen, a A pope that's really cool. A pope that says religion is the opiate of fools. And a pope that doesn't drool.
Oh, look, there's Gary Tuckman for CNN on the street in Atlanta with a couple of dark-complected folks behind him. Like you said, it should be real easy finding a black guy in Atlanta.
Helicopters right now looking, but they do not know where this person might have gone. There have been tips in various areas. One tip came from the northern part of Fulton County, about 20 miles north of here, but they have not found this man. I
don't understand why this is such a big story. I mean, this seems to be going on a lot lately. You go into court and you get pissed off, you grab the deputy's gun, you just, right?
Right.
Seems to be the American effing way lately, but I guess nothing else is going on. The Michael Jackson trial, the jury's not there today. They're just doing some procedural crap, like making sure that Michael gets his pajamas ironed before he comes back Monday. William Thatcher Dowell edits Global Beat for New York University Center for War, Peace, and the News Media. He was Middle East correspondent for Time magazine from 1989 through 1993, and he writes, Made in America Wahhabism. The Christian right is their own brand of extremism. And, boy, he's got his thumb right on it. This is in the L.A. Times a couple of days ago. It was on our website. Wasn't it, Josh?
Yes, it was.
Good. It's not that long, a couple of pages. There's a certain irony in the debate over installing the Ten Commandments in public buildings. The second commandment in the King James edition of the Bible states clearly, Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth below, or that is in the water under the earth. Few people take this as a prohibition against images of stars and fishes. Rather, it cautions against endowing a physical object, be it a golden calf or 2-ton slab of granite, with spiritual power. In trying to promote the commandments, the Christian right seems to have forgotten what they're really about. It also has overlooked the fact that there are several versions, Exodus 20, 2 through 17, Exodus 34, 12 through 26, and Deuteronomy 5, 6 through 21. Different language in Catholic Bibles and the Jewish Torah offer more variants. Which should be enshrined? That's just the kind of debate that's been responsible for religious massacres throughout the ages. It was, in fact, the mindless slaughter resulting from King Charles' efforts to impose the Church of England's prayer book on Calvinist Scots in the 17th century that played an important role in convincing the Founding Fathers to separate church and state. The current debate, of course, has little to do with genuine religion. What it's really about is an effort to assert a cultural point of view. It's part of a reaction against social change, an American counter-reformation of sorts, against the way our society has been evolving. Those pushing to blur the boundaries between church and state feel that they're losing out, much as in the Middle East, Islamic fundamentalists fear they're losing out to Western values. The reactions are remarkably similar. In the Arab Middle East and Iran, the response is an insistence on the establishment of Islamic law as the basis for political life. In the U.S., school districts assert religious over scientific theory in biology class, tax dollars are going to the faith-based, and the Ten Commandments are a putative founding document. In fact, George W. Bush may now find himself in the same kind of trap that ensnared Saudi Arabia's founder, King Ibn Saud. To gain political support, Saud mobilized the fanatical ultra-religious Wahhabi movement, the movement that is spiritually at the core of al-Qaeda. Once the bargain was done, the Saudi royal family repeatedly found itself held political hostage to an extremist, barely controllable movement populated by radical ideologues. The evangelical movement in the U.S. nudged the president back into the White House, and Bush must now try to pay off the political bill for its support. In Saudi Arabia, what drives the Wahhabis is a deep sense of grievance and an underlying conviction that a return to spiritual purity will restore the lost power they believe once belonged to their forefathers. A belief system that calls for stoning a woman for adultery or severing the hand of a vagrant accused of stealing depends on extreme interpretations of texts that are at best ambiguous. What is at stake is not so much service to God as the conviction that it is still possible to enforce discipline in a world that seems increasingly chaotic. The Christian right is equally prone to selective interpretations of Scripture. In its concern for a fetus, for example, the fate of a child who emerges from an unwanted pregnancy gets lost. Some fundamentalists are even ready to kill those who do not agree with them, or at least destroy their careers. They seem to delight in the death penalty, despite the fact that the Bible prohibits killing, and Christ advised his followers to leave vengeance to God. Just as in the Middle East, the core of U.S. Puritanism stems from a nostalgia for an imaginary past. In our case, a made-up U.S., peopled mostly by Northern Europeans alike in the God they worshipped and in their understanding of what he stood for. The Founding Fathers, of course, preferred the ideas of the secular Enlightenment, which instead of anointing one religious interpretation, provided the space and security for each person to seek God in his or her own way. Perhaps the strongest rationale for separating religious values from politics is that politics inevitably involves compromise, while religion involves a spiritual idea that can be harmed by compromise. No less a fundamentalist than Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini once stated that if forced to choose between Islamic law and Islamic rule, he would choose Islamic rule. Yet the effect of that decision has been to betray Islam, as genuine Islamic scholars in Iran have found themselves under continual pressure to change their interpretation of God and God's will in order to conform to political realities. Religion, when incorporated into a political structure, is almost invariably diluted and deformed and ultimately loses its most essential power. Worse, as we've seen recently in the Islamic world, as in the Spanish Inquisition and the Salem witch trials in the Christian world, a fanatical passion for one's own interpretation of justice under God often leads to horror. The fact is that, as St. Paul so eloquently put it, now we see through a glass darkly. Men and women interpret the deity, but they're only human, and by their nature they're flawed. In that context, isn't it best to keep our minds open, the Ten Commandments out of our public buildings or off our governmental lawns, and to lead by example rather than pressuring others to see life the way we do? As Christ once put it, and why beholdest thou the mote that is thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Watch out for that wicked beam. Pretty good stuff, eh?
Very good.
Oh, didn't like it.
No, I didn't.
Didn't like it. George didn't like it, didn't he,
I hit
John?
the microphone and it didn't come on.
Ah, yeah, he didn't like it. Okay, I won't read it again.
You know I love those religious stories.
Oh, those anti-religious stories? Heathen? Infidel?
What's your point?
Who's your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being ugly? We got a list of 50,000 ugly people here, which should make all the rest of us feel a little bit better. Not everybody can look like Brad Pitt and like Halle Berry, okay? Not everybody can be beautiful. Charles Bronson, 110. Although Steve Buscemi's making a move now. He's got 99. He's right on Chuck's ass.
You go, Steve.
Charles Bronson, he's not dead, is he?
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
When did he die? Not that long ago, I don't think.
Not that long ago.
Look it up. Do a little Google there for us, Josh. Nudge him in the armpit there. Charles Bronson, when did he die? Charles Bronson is dead?
Yeah.
No. That can't be. Not a macho man like that.
August 03.
See, not that long ago. Steve Buscemi, 99. Humphrey Bogart, 82. He's been dead a long time, and you want to know why? Yeah. All those faggots, man, those cancer sticks. Put them down. All you punks out there think you're being real big shots by smoking, by going out there under a tree in a schoolyard and lighting up one of them camels, one of those cancer sticks. All you're doing is shortening your life.
Right, and in no time...
See, those of us fat people, at least there's something to enjoy there. There's nothing enjoyable about smoking cigarettes.
That's not what Boog and Brian says.
I can't believe that he smokes. You've got to be kidding me.
No, he smokes.
Probably Camels.
Pall Mall.
Yeah, no, sure. Oh, yeah, almost as bad. Yeah, cancer sticks. You know, it's called Death Wish. Speaking of Charles Bronson, he's got a death wish. Humphrey Bogart, 82, the African Queen. Oh, that was Johnny Mathis. Danny DeVito, 56. Barbara Streisand, 31. Kathy Bates, 18. Rodney Dangerfield, 6. Next you'll be telling me he's dead. 16. Ed Asner, 15. Jimmy Cagney, 14. Boris Karloff, 14. Bette Midler, 12. Dick Van Dyke, 12. Well, I just never liked him at all. You know, he leaves me limp. I don't think he was funny. He was just, I got tired of hearing about his booze problems. He just bugged me. Morgan Freeman, 11. Betty Davis, 11. Edward James, almost 10. Peter Lorre, 10. Now, wasn't he in the Charlie Chan movies? Or am I confusing him with somebody else?
I never saw a Charlie Chan movie. Sorry.
Oh. He was good.
He was in like the Maltese Falcon, I know that.
Right. With Humphrey Bogart that you don't like.
Mm-hmm. I don't.
Christopher, well, that's why you wouldn't watch
Never have.
Chicken cannot. Huh?
No,
I can't believe you didn't watch that movie.
No, I haven't.
Christopher Walken, 9. Marty Feldman, 9. Wesley Snipes, 7. Wesley Stripes. Also, Fred Gwynn's got 7. Bela Lugosi's got 7. Eddie. In fact, you know something? If he would have known one more guy, he might still be with us. Yeah. I mean, you know, poor Johnny Depp, he had other things going on. He was busy. Jessica Parker's got 6. Rosie O'Donnell's 6. Woody Allen's 6. Walter Matthau's got 5. Gary Busey's got 5. Clint Howard's got 5. Ron Howard's little brother. See, those of us remember Ron Howard from Happy Days, which, quite frankly, I hated the show and I hated him even worse. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to respect him because he's a great movie director and
he's an adequate movie director.
Oh, but they would tell us that Ron Howard's a genius. Yeah.
I saw one of his movies last night and it had his brother in it. Sure enough.
Well, what would you expect? A little nepotism there. It's kind of like George C. Scott.
Brother would never be able to get a job.
Trish Vanderveer, which by the way she ain't no Mark Vandermeer. Rhea Perlman 5. William Dafoe 4. I can't stop doing that, man. Willem Dafoe. I just can't stop.
All right, he answers to it.
4. James Woods 4. Don Knotts 3. James Woods is Jewish? Jesus. You want a Pachentukas? At least you think he could say that a little bit better if he's really Jewish. Pachentukas. Don Knotts 3. Donald Sutherland 3. Minnie Driver 3. And Billy Bob Thornton's got a pair and some other people. I don't think Gene Hackman's really... Well, yeah, he is. He's ugly.
He's funny looking. Got the big nose, big funny nose. Like Marty Feldman, also funny looking.
Yeah, well, yeah, a little funnier than Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
12 minutes after 1 on Ugly Friday here at QM. And, of course, in 2 weeks it'll be Good Friday. Won't that be special, huh? I'm taking off Good Friday this year. I'm going to go to church.
I know. Have some fish.
I'm going to see the light, yeah.
Right, drink some wine.
Go to church, eat some of the wafers, have some of that wine, some of that real good Manischewitz that probably those goyim are enjoying.
Where, man, I've been everywhere, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, We're going to South Carolina, and Oklahoma, and Arizona, and North Dakota, and New Mexico, and Texas, and New York. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. We're going to California, and New York. We're going to South Dakota, and Oregon. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. And North Dakota, and New Mexico. And to Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana. And Oregon. We're going to California and Texas. Santa Fe, Colorado, Glen Rock, Black Rock, Little Rock, Austin. We're going to South Dakota and Michigan. And Lake, Devils Lake, Crater Lake, Deep Lake. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Travel and had my share, man. I've been everywhere. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
I'll bet you Hillary is thrilled that he was elected chairman of the DNC, because that means he's not going to be running in 2008, and she thinks that's really great.
You know, I know where you're going.
What?
With her?
No, but I'm just telling you that she obviously wants it. She's been lying through her teeth about that whole deal. She wants it so she can taste it. And guess who Ted Kennedy is already supporting for 2008?
Her?
No.
Oh, good.
Worse.
Worse?
Somebody who already lost.
Oh, Gore.
No.
No? Well, I'll give up.
John Kerry.
No.
Gore. I said somebody who lost. Gore didn't lose. He got screwed out of the election, but he didn't lose.
Right.
But John Kerry, which is really scary. And Kerry says, oh, yeah, he's thinking that he's going to do it. He's going to make another run. I'm getting the runs just thinking about it. Another lackluster, lifeless campaign with, that crazy-headed bitch wife of his running around like a rag doll on drugs. WQAM, hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
560.
560 WQAM.
Yes, sir. To talk to Neil Royers.
Speaking, Mr. Royers, right here.
Senor Royers.
Royers.
I'm a Nicaraguan Julio.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Buenos días, amigo. ¿Cómo está?
Bien, ¿usted?
Como ça. I know. I pick it upon him, man. I know my specs when I speak it.
You do?
No.
Man, I was trying to fool you, man.
No chance.
Hey,
can't fool an old fag like me.
Long-time listener.
Can't fool an old Jew bastard like me, man. I'll tell you that right now. I've been around the block too many times to get fooled by some beaner like you. Anyway, go ahead.
Ugly People. Ed Sullivan.
But he wasn't an actor, see. He wasn't a TV. He was a TV guy, not an actor. Even on TV.
I'm sorry, man.
Don't be sorry. Hasta que me olvides de nada and adios. Arrivederci. Dos vidania. In fact, if you hook up with the wrong person, you might get a bad dose. Vidania? You ever get a dose of Vidania?
No.
567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. Oh, God. See, we told you, comunista. He's speaking Ruski. Comunista. All I got to do now that I got my bald head, I got to put on one of those, what do they call those hats that the Russians wear? Those
big fur hats?
Yeah, what do they call
it? I buy you
it?
one once. I don't know.
Big fur hat?
They ain't as stylish as those hockey
No, they got a name for those things. What the hell are those?
I'll find them. I almost got you a coonskin hat one year that looks just
No, not a coonskin hat.
No, but it was shaped the same way.
Although Jesse Helm says he loves that coonskin. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
I got bad news for you.
And what is that?
Thanks to our Führer, El Presidente, the oil, 15% of the oil that we used to get from Venezuela, gone.
Oh, no.
They're trying to sell God. That's right. They're trying to sell it to Asia.
¿Quién es más macho, Cesar Chavez or Hugo Chavez?
Oh, man. Chavez got Bush by the balls.
Yeah, and then Chavez is running around saying that Bush is trying to get him killed. I can't imagine why. Can you?
I don't know,
Don't forget, when you go to bed tonight, kneel at your bedside and put your hands together and say, thank you, Mr. President, for those low gas prices.
All right.
See you.
Ushankas.
Thank you, Mr. President, for those low gas prices. In fact, let's take a puke. I never, ever turn on the gambling channel. I do my gambling, you-know-where. But let me just take a look. Huh?
Did you hear me? Ushanka.
That's not what it is. That's
right.
the big Russian hats are Ushanka?
That's what it says here.
No, they only call it in Sri Lanka. Oh, look at that, the price of crude. Boy, you talk about crude, $54.50. Holy moly, rat man. Even the Batmobile's going to have to stay in the stall for a while. $54.50 a gallon, man. That is just, and they're saying this ain't nothing yet. Wait till summertime, when they start really bleeding and fleecing the public because they know that everybody's on holiday and all summertime everybody's driving the 4th of July and stuff like this and Canada Day and these things. Oh, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. $60, $70 a barrel for oil, which means you're going to be paying like $2.50, $3. And they'll say, oh, it's still a bargain. They're paying $4 in Europe. Well, you know what? Screw them. $1.35 on the euro. I don't think there are going to be too many of you taking your usual European vacations unless you're really well-heeled. You know what I'm saying? I better win a few bucks over the weekend. I'm going to have to cancel my Italy trip. Speaking of Italy, the U.S. must assume responsibility for the friendly fire killing of an Italian intelligence agent in Iraq in order to put the incident behind the two allies, the crooked Italian prime minister said on Wednesday, although here he's got a point. He is maybe the biggest crook in the world today. He makes Meyer Lansky look like a Boy Scout. Aiming to set the record straight, Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi contradicted U.S. military reports suggesting Italy may have been to blame for last week's ill-fated attempt to evacuate a newly freed hostage from Iraq. Italy also denied ever bowing to political blackmail in Iraq or paying ransom to Islamic militants for the freedom of kidnapped war reporter Giuliana Serena after local media reports that up to $8 million changed hands. Only a frank and reciprocal recognition of eventual responsibility is the condition for closure of the incident, which was so irrational to us and that caused us so much sorrow, Berlusconi told the Senate. Caused them so much sorrow. He might have to buy up all the newspapers now, too, besides all the TV stations, to make sure that they get the news right. Get it right. Far to the right. Kind of like Mussolini liked it. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? It's George's buddy.
Yeah.
I want you to go for...
WQAM, hello.
Thank you.
Thank you, what? I'm not going to listen to him. What's the point?
Good.
QAM, hello.
I don't know if he's an actor or not, but what about Jimmy Durante?
Jimmy Durante, yeah, he's already on there. Of course he was an actor. He was in some bad movies. See, one thing about the comedians from the early days of television and the vaudeville long before that, most of them got in some really bad movies, like the Martin and Lewis movies, for example, Oh, Jerry Lewis was in that, what was the one, the King of Comedy?
King of Comedy, right.
Which everybody says was really great. I'll take your word for it. I'd rather watch Blue Velvet than watch a Jerry Lewis movie.
Everyone said it was really great, and it was really weak.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was, it was
But he sure could sing, man. Rock-a-bye your baby with a Jerry Lewis melody. Remember that? Yeah. But I liked him. He was funny back in the day, and everybody liked Martin and Lewis and all the other, because they were in on the ground floor of it, There were a lot of people, pioneers. Dave Garroway, horrible. I mean, terminally boring, coma-inducing. And a lot of other people, like Gary Moore, just no talent whatsoever. But they made it big because they were first. They were there first. They were pioneers. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you ever saw the old Today Show with Dave Garroway and Frank Blair doing the news and the chimp, Fred Muggs, J. Fred Muggs, the chimp, you'd say, and Jack LaScooley, you'd say, how could anybody have ever watched this? I mean, the current Today Show is bad enough, it's horrendous. But it's like fantastic compared to that crap. Oh, now look at these guns.
Land 295, which is a threat level 2 holster.
Okay, now a threat level 2. I think, okay, that what exactly does that mean?
Threat level 2 holsters, it takes 2 positions to remove the firearm.
2 positions. All right, so if I were...
It takes 2 hands to handle that whopper, man. That's what Jimmy Durante... No, that's what Milton Berle said. 26 after 1 at 560 WQM. The Emerald Coast is Florida's numero uno for our Nicaraguan paisan there. #1 Asian gourmet buffet is rated by Zagat Restaurant Review, and they really know their stuff. And the good news is you can still enjoy Lobster Fest every Friday through Sunday night, featuring Maine Lobster Thermidor. In addition, the Emerald Coast will still be serving hand-carved prime rib, and from their flaming grill... New York steaks cooked to order just the way you love them. For those seafood lovers out there, the menu still includes hot Dungeness crab, fresh oysters on the half shell, stone crab claws, and a sushi bar with over 30 different items. Make sure to leave room for dessert because they've got that amazing 40-inch chocolate fondue fountain where you can hand dip your own strawberries, marshmallows, and whatever else you want to dip in there, all those decadent treats. Don't forget the Emerald Coast promotes healthy living. They cook all of their good cuisine with cholesterol-free canola oil, no MSG, no crap. You won't walk out of there with a headache, just a big fat stomach and a smile on your puss. Don't forget to book your reservations at one of Emerald Coast's 3 South Florida locations. You'll find them in Sunrise, Sunny Isles Beach, and even prestigious Pembroke Pines. For the Emerald Coast, it's 95. Oh, and by the way, there is a new area code in Dade County.
Okay.
786.
Right.
Not 205. 786. Hey, fat boy, you're an idiot. Call the Emerald Coast at 954, not 554 or 254 954 572 3822. You can't beat it with a stick. The amazing, unbeatable Emerald Coast Chinese Buffet.
You're listening to Neil Rogers on 560 QAM.
Were you drudge packing?
Mr. President, I'm very appreciative that you chose me to conduct this interview.
Sure.
What do you hope that your legacy will be? You've got 4 years, and I know I'm asking a down-the-line question, but what do you hope it will be?
Terrorists. And destabilizing a vital part of the world.
Okay. Now, in the next 4 years, what do you most want to accomplish yourself?
Play God.
What are you going to be able to do that others haven't been able to do?
Spread hatred and vilify the United States. I hope that 50 years from now, people look back and say, George W., a dictator, a tyrant, a thug.
Do you think all of that can happen in 4 years?
Yes, I do. And I am excited about it.
When 2020 returns.
The president just peed on the carpet in the Oval Office.
Oh, absolutely. And I intend to duty.
Okay.
Next. If it's good enough for Linda Blair, it's good enough for El Presidente, right? Peeing on the carpet.
Right.
That was an interesting scene when the priest was sitting there at the piano at toity-toid, and then Linda Blair comes down there and stands there staring at them and just very quietly just pees on the carpet. That was a beautiful
nothing quiet about it.
Well, no, I mean, she was
like
quiet.
Niagara
She was
Falls.
very still, but the sound of the tinkling hitting the floor, the carpet.
You're going to die up there.
Careful. Join George tomorrow 5 to 7 at the, the sandwich guy is going to be there again tomorrow at the Marooney used car and truck sell-off going on at Dolphin Stadium. Oh, you're going to be at the stadium right up the Hershey Highway there.
I guess.
Wow. Well, sure as hell beats where they usually send you. Well, not really. Stop by to spin the wheel for prizes. Enjoy free food from Atlantic City Subs. That's today. Today? Now, look at it. You know something? I don't want to start getting bitchy, okay, any more than usual, which is plenty bitchy enough. But are you looking at this same thing since you sent me a copy of it?
Oh, I've just reached for it right now. That's today.
It says, join George tomorrow, 5 to 7. And at the end it says, that's today, 5 to 7 at Dolphin Stadium. Make up your mind, will you?
I ain't going both days.
Is it? I'm assuming it's tomorrow, right?
It's tomorrow.
No. That's Saturday. Saturday is tomorrow, last time we checked. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, 5 to 7 at Dolphin Stadium. Go there early, get some of that good food from Atlantic City Subs, and then pretend you're there to, do whatever else going on. Make him look good. 5670560. Maybe your friend will stop by and see you tomorrow. The one that calls all the time. I'm George's buddy. The one that looks forward to giving you a shtuch every chance he can. Yeah.
The one's obsessed with me.
I'm one of those professional agitators that just, you're right, obsessed. Like the guy with the fanny pack, the guy with the eyes, Greg in Port St. Lucie, Andy in Hollywood, what's his name? Prozac Ron. Chamba, that idiot. Obsessed is not even close. It's very insufficient to try to describe the mentality of these people. And I use that term loosely. Mentality and people. See what you get me all worked up for.
Fun.
So I'll go out and watch the Blue Velvet. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neely.
Yes, sir.
Just a couple of thoughts on the gambling. I think Broward will get the slot machines they want, only to the respect that the lobbyists are about to go to work, and they're going to start spreading the money around, and I think that's what the congressmen were waiting for. And the second thing is,
I'll tell you one thing: if they don't give them the Class 3, which is what it was supposed to be, they're going to make it meaningless. They're going to cut the revenue down so much it's going to be a farce, and it's going to just piss everybody off.
Right, but you know how lobbyists spread money around up there, and you know how they love money.
Good.
They're not willing to vote for it, but they'll take the money. You know what I'm saying?
Give them a bag of money, right?
And the other thing is Bill Bennett, the slot czar.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Bill Bennett, the slot czar. He's got it. He knows all about it.
Give him his own machine, baby. Plunge his guts out.
All right, take it
Thanks
easy.
a lot. He can give the convocation. You know, the invocation before they start opening the machines every morning. There can be Bill Bennett, the gambling czar. Talk about another big fat hypocrite, man. All these right wingers, all of them, each and every one of them, all the finger pointers. Oh, you're this, you're that. Yeah, right. Just like that Jeff Gannon Duckert piece of crap turd.
Yay.
Faggot. 5-6. So what's this Atlanta thing? They're making such a big timus about this. Wow. And, of course, keep in mind that they're in Atlanta. A lot of these goofballs they got on there, Sky Miles O'Brien and this bitch.
Very well. She spoke with us a little while ago. We'll hear from her after a break.
Meanwhile, the search is still on.
Look at that. CNN special coverage on courtroom security begins at 7. They sure didn't waste any time, did they?
Last seen driving a green Honda. We do have the license plate number. We'll let you look at that as we head to break. More live from right after this.
6584YN, Georgia. He's got Georgia on his mind. Boy, oh boy. Go get him before he shoots up anybody else. WQAM, hello.
Hi, this is Chris.
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Good, Neil. I actually had a couple for the poll. That Nick Nolte was the first one.
Nick Nolte is as ugly as sin. He looks like a pile of elephant crap. And?
Yeah, he's looked worse over the years, too.
Yes.
And,
really bad lately, yes. Things keeps getting... yeah.
And Cameron Diaz is a real butterface.
Really?
I think
George will give you a hard time on that.
No, not me. I agree.
Oh, really? Okay, we'll put her on.
Marginal in the face.
She looks good, everything from the neck down.
Yeah,
but
she smiles and has charm. That's how you don't notice.
Anyway, we love you up here in Boca, and you guys have a good day and happy 29th.
Thanks a lot, Pally. Bye, Pally. How about, since we're putting people who actually are actors or actresses of a sort, how about J-Lo? Huh?
She's been in movies.
She sure is. Well, if you call Geely and that other bunch of crap she keeps making movies. She's ugly, man, and she is just got a big...
Rectum.
But she's married to, what's his name there? That Spick. Oh, brother. That is just so amazing. I mean, is he fooling anybody, that fruit fly? Is she fooling anybody? You know, that Bennifer crap that we had to be subjected to. And, of course, the media just loves this stuff. They just love shoving it down our throats hour after hour, day after day, week after week, you know? Because basically, like they said, like Howard Beale said, we're in the boredom-killing business. Like us. We got to, like, take the 4 hours in the middle of your day and try to, like, do a little tap dance here, a verbal tap dance, and at least put a little pizzazz, a little something, you know? Da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, like that, right?
Sure, we could do that.
Like those people at the appearances wanted us to do, those sour old bitches from Detroit, which I'm sure they're dead by now, I hope. Remember them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't put on a floor show for them, I guess. That, you know, they wanted us to do a tap dance. Spent a half an hour with them. There were all these other people lined up waiting for us to autograph those stupid pictures and everything. And, yeah. All you did was just kind of sit there. You didn't pay too much attention to us. You miserable. I bet you Dick Purton would like to shoot both your brains out, if you had any. Oh, here's one of the winners. A good thing he gave everybody a head start. This man, see, although who could say that he's their favorite, though, see? Because the question is, your favorite actor, actress who's made it big and they're ugly? Gerard Depardieu. He is grotesque. And the worst part of it is, there actually are women out there who think he's a sex pot.
Yeah, he's
sex
a
pistol.
Sick pot.
Yeah. Seriously, he's like a sex symbol for some of these blind women.
Yeah.
Helen Keller thought he was hot.
So
Gerard
looks like
Depardieu. But it does say here, probably nobody's favorite. And you're right. Thank you so much. Man, so many ugly. See, ugly and untalented, that's a bad combination. Ugly, okay. A lot of us can relate to that. But ugly with no talent, what's the story there? Maybe there's something there that doesn't meet the eye. Now, this one, I'm not saying this to put him down because he's been on the singer ugly. What's his name? Julie Roberts' husband.
Lyle,
I love it. Yeah, Lyle, I love it. Well, what's that all about?
I don't know. Don't put that down, Josh.
Yeah, don't put it. Well, you see, all you got to do is like whisper a name. He puts it on there, like by rote, you know. 20 till 2 at 560 WQM. Don't forget Jay Fiedler and Mo Howard David this afternoon. I think they're going to make a baby. I really do. They are tight, you know. What?
You can't get no baby.
Well,
right?
I don't know, but they sure been giving it a shot for the last couple of years. They are as tight as a snare drum.
Absolutely.
And so Jay will be on with our good friend Mo at somewhere in there. Who knows when? Hey, all you horse racing fans and poker players, Pompano Park Racing and Poker has got all the gambling action you could want. Just a half mile from both I-95 and the Florida Turnpike, Pompano Park features free admission and free general parking every day. Live harness racing in the poker room open every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday like this weekend. Poker starts at noon, goes on till midnight every day, and live racing gets underway nightly at 7:25, including tonight, of course, and tomorrow. Coming up tomorrow, Saturday, March 12th, is the most amazing fireworks stunt show ever seen. It's a regular event at Pompano Park every year, starring Australian Vincent Silvestro and his unbelievable racehorse, Handby Silver. Silvestro stands on the shafts of his race bike, holds the reins in his teeth, and shoots off more than 2,000 rounds of fireworks from a platform on his bike, all while Handby Silver races around the track. You don't want to miss the great fireworks stunt show tomorrow, Saturday, March 12th. By the way, Randy Waples is back at Woodbine, won 2 races last night. Welcome back, Randy. Also, tonight, Pompano Park has a money machine at the track where you can have a chance to grab $1,000 in betting vouchers. Just when in doubt, reach in there and grab it, and the vouchers too. Pompano Park with simulcasting every day and night, 7 days a week, located a block south of Atlantic Boulevard on Powerline Road. For the current racing schedule, go online at PompanoPark.com or give them a call at 954-972-2000. That's 974-2000. Don't forget, 725 tonight and tomorrow. Big weekend of racing at Pompano Park.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
How young is too young?
About 30, man.
I'm Harry the Hitler boy, Harry the Hitler boy, oh boy. I like dressing up in uniform with a swastika on each arm. Now everyone knows that Harry has a funny thing that he enjoys. Oh boy, I'm a Nazi prince, I'm Harry the Hitler boy. Oh! Second verse even gets worse. I'm Harry the Hitler boy, Harry the Hitler boy, oh boy. Went to party in a big brown shirt, and now the family name is Dirt. My dad is glad I'm not William. He wouldn't want his name in the tabloids. Won't sit on the throne, I'm Harry the Hitler boy. Oi! H-A-R-R-Y. Harry the Hitler boy, oh boy. Harry the Hitler boy.
146 at 560 WQAM. Martin in Fort Myers, originally from Europe, says, Neil and George, thank you for your great show and putting up with all these idiotic callers. You guys should get a frickin' medal for all your work entertaining us. That's right. We agree, Martin. We want it. Hopefully it'll be worth something we can pawn it. Just a little reminder to those morons who say that gas in Europe costs over $4 a gallon compared to $2.50 in the U.S. More than 80% of that price in Europe are taxes which are used to build back up the roads, highways, bridges, social programs, etc., which is why people in Europe look at these prices as a luxury tax for drivers. The other thing is you don't necessarily need a car in Europe because of a very good system of public transportation, trains, and buses. On the other hand, over 80% of gas price in the U.S. goes directly in the pockets of oil companies and, of course, to the pockets of our leader and his friends. Just take a look at the record profits of Mobil, Exxon, etc. Wake up, people. They're going to suck you dry is what Martin in Fort Myers says. Amen, Martin. Terry Schiavo's husband, this just in only moments, seconds ago. Terry, from our, of course, fantastic news coverage here at QAM on our news wires. Terry Schiavo's husband turns down $1 million to give up the right to decide wife's fate. How do you like that? Sounds like blackmail to me.
I'd have taken it.
A man fighting to have a feeding tube removed from his brain-damaged wife today rejected a California businessman's offer to pay him $1 million to give up his right to decide her medical treatment. The offer, which the husband's attorney labeled offensive, came hours after the judge refused to let the state social services agency intervene, a move that would have delayed next week's scheduled removal of that tube. Other such offers, including one for $10 million, had already been made and rejected by Michael Schiavo, said his attorney George Filos. See, in the end, the parents were saying all along, oh, well, he wants the money from her will, it's money. Well, if it's money, how could he turn down $10 million and then $1 million? See?
Right.
Terry Schiavo's parents are trying to keep her alive. She suffered a heart attack 15 years ago. Now 41, she's lived since then, 15 years ago, in what court-appointed doctors call a persistent vegetative state, Florida. Even if the husband did walk away, Philo said there's still a court order requiring removal of the tube at 1 p.m. next Friday. Oh, God, we can cover that with a blanket. We can have Duff there checking out the tube. A judge ordered that the feedings be stopped after finding clear and convincing evidence that she would not want to be kept alive in her current state. Florida, and who the hell would? San Diego businessman Robert Herring, who founded an electronics company, later a cable and satellite channel, said he felt compelled to try to have the husband transfer the legal right to decide his wife's medical treatment to the parents Bob and Mary Schindler. He's the guy that offered $1 million. I believe very strongly that there are medical advances happening around the globe that could very shortly have a positive impact on Terry's condition. Herring's offer is valid until Monday. Wait till you hear this. According to a statement from his attorney, Gloria Allred. Don't we hate her like poison, that bitch?
Venomous.
The money has been deposited into a trust account at Allred's L.A. law firm, the statement said. Philo said his client would not even consider any such proposals. Sounds like a red herring to me, you know, Gloria Allred herring. Mm-hmm. Got it?
Got it.
Don't forget, join George tomorrow. I have no idea why they, who brought this in, Miguel?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets to be almost the end of the show now. We're promoting George's appearance tomorrow.
I
think Maddie Bell is involved in this. Make sure that it's a bomb. Nobody shows up. Although I know you really enjoy seeing those same misfits that show up over and over again.
Could you ever get tired of that?
George will sign you some of the neat picture cards and,
That's right.
What?
I have autographed $1 million bills I'll be giving.
Yeah, there you go. He'll do anything you want. He'll get up and do a little dance for you.
Right.
He'll
I got a sock puppet show that'll
sniff your armpits, whatever you like. Whatever makes you happy, right. George, tomorrow, 5 to 7 p.m. Maruna used car and truck sell-off going on at Dolphin Stadium. Spin the QM Veal for some of those embarrassing cheap prizes. That's all we can afford. Enjoy it because we got so many useless people on the payroll. And enjoy free food from Atlantic City Subs. That's tomorrow, Saturday, 5 to 7, at Dolphin Stadium, which used to be a PP Park, which used to be Joe Robbie Stadium, which used to be a place where winning teams would play. Football, anyway. Better head that real quickly or Josh will get upset. Don't forget the Marlins, that's right, and my good friend Roxy Bernstein and the oh-so Dave Van Boring. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got a name for your poll. Gary Busey.
Gary Busey, he's already on there, and thank you so much. Been on there for only a couple of hours. And, of course, if I read the whole list, that would, preclude the possibility. If I read the whole list, then we'll be here till midnight, And we don't want to take any time away from Mo, who's going to be doing kissy-kissy with Jay Fiedler this afternoon. Jay Fiedler, by the way, I just want to tell you right now, he is bad, okay? Is there any doubt about that, Josh?
You think?
He's weak. I mean, when A.J. Feely, touchy-feely, beats you out, when they say bye-bye, in fact, probably the reason they're happy to see him go to the Jets is because, naturally, the competition there, They'd love to see the Jets come into town with A.J. Feely playing. I mean, with same difference, Jay Fiedler. A.J. Fiedler. He is weak, man. He's one of these rah-rah, sis-boom-bah, good college try, but he sucks. But for some reason, Mo's got this obsession. I mean, just obsessed. Maybe it's the Jew thing.
Oi!
What'd you think?
They're tight, man.
They are tight. Oh, man. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, it's Norman from Aventura.
Yes, Norman.
Do I still have enough time to get in with Neil?
You're on right now.
Okay.
What do you got?
Neil.
Yep.
Yeah, with the Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That's a still.
WQAM, hello. QAM. I didn't realize we had the 80-minute delay on today, did you?
Yeah.
WQAM, hello.
Good night, Mr. Neil Rogers, wherever you are. Hot cha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
That's Jimmy Durante. Good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. Ink-a-dink-a-doo. Was he a talent?
No.
Or what, huh? Could he sing?
No.
Did he look good?
No.
He's on our ugly list, and deservedly so. Boy, he was really ugly. I mean, wow. A lot of these other people, they're like minor league ugly compared to Jimmy Durante. Did you ever see him?
Yeah, I saw clips.
Yeah. Ink-a-dink-a-doo-doo-doo. Like I said, it was from the vaudeville to the movies to TV. It was just, he was around, Now, Ed Wynn, who was a very funny guy, he could be on here, but nobody knows who that is. He was very funny, but was nice also hat. Ugly. Huh?
Nice hat.
Yeah, well, now, what do they call that babushka that the Russians wear? What did you say?
Ushanka.
No.
I know you don't, but that's what it's called.
That's a golf term. 153 at 560 QAM.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560.
Fiedler is dumb, and Dave Wanstead is dumbfounded.
Absolutely.
To all the wives he's had before, to all the women he's made sore, he threw them from his house to make room for Kamals, that billionaire playboy man whore. To all the wives he's had before, that narcissistic bad-haired bore. Without cash, he's a chum. I dare say Donald Trump would have no prayer in hell to score. Got rid of Marla and Ivana. He threw them out of Trump Tower. Watch this guy smoking marijuana or getting high on his power. To all the wives he's had before, there's no question that he'll have more. Melania's number 3, but I can't wait to see who Trump will pick as number 4. To all the wives he's had before, who packed their jewels and hit the
Okay, we're almost out of time. The poll today, who's your favorite actor or actress who made it big in spite of being ugly? Charles Bronson, 114. Steve Buscemi, 112. We got a battle over the weekend, man. Neck and neck, nose to nose. Humphrey Bogart, 84. Danny DeVito, 60. Barbara Streisand, 34. And Rodney Dangerfield. He didn't really die, did he?
Yes, he died.
26.
Bye, bye, bye!